Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Allen back to throw. Allen airing it out. Allen picked off by Bullock. It's over. The Texans are going to do it. There's a flag down in the secondary. What is this? It's against the Bills. The Texans pull it off. They're going to knock off Buffalo tonight.
Radio Network final score 23-19 in that final drive for Buffalo. Perloff could not have been more discombobulated. It's like the Bills have never been in a big game before. I mean,
but they did do a hook and ladder. That was amazing.
Yeah, incredible when you need to convert a 4th and 27. I'm glad they've got something in the playbook. But what does it matter if you can't actually get into the end zone? Welcome to the show, by the way, Maggie, Pearl, whatever. Okay, here's the situation. This is not the Bills' year. This is not their year. So stop acting like it's a big deal to beat them because it's not. The Bills had plenty of chances here. Don't want to hear any slander about the defense. They were fine. They kept the Bills in it. The Bills' offensive line got absolutely wrecked in this game because Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter and everyone along that Texans defensive line had Hall of Fame nights last night. And for Buffalo, whether it was the offensive line crumbling, they're hurt, they were terrible last night. Deion Dawkins, you are a franchise left tackle. You cannot false start on a 4th and 1. Also, Josh Allen, you can't turn your back on the play every time and take sacks that, are 17-yard losses and 15-yard losses. They can't have a running back in pass protection because the running backs are the best wide receivers, because the receivers are not good enough, and because Keon Coleman can't get his behind to a meeting and he has to get scratched for the second straight game. I don't even know if he would have made a difference. Pearl, I'm on a 10 right now because I'm just so disappointed that despite all the terrible things that happened for Buffalo last night, 8 sacks for Josh Allen, how devastating that Texans defensive front was. They still had a chance to win the game and couldn't get out of their own way. And I've watched this too many times where they are unorganized at the end of a game. It's infuriating.
Yeah, I don't know about that O-line thing, though. I don't think Josh Allen knew where he wanted. Yeah, he didn't know where to go with the ball. How many times did he just flail around in the pocket for about 8 seconds? What was going on
He was
there?
feeling the pressure at times. He
I
didn't
don't
know where to
know.
go.
I don't know.
Fine, they
Even
give
though-
the secondary some credit, too, because they were all over the Bills. And the Bills don't have any good weapons, really.
They're terrified of Derek Stingley, which I get. He's awesome. But, yeah, I don't know what Josh Allen was doing. Like, he kind of cost Joe Brady a job last night.
Joe Brady cost himself a job last night.
Look at the last play
of
of the game. There was the last meaningful play. It was 4th down. There was a guy wide open, and Josh Allen was on his feet, and he threw it to the guy who wasn't wide open.
Do you know why? Because Joe Brady didn't get the call in until there was like 1 millisecond left on the play clock. And
How did Josh Allen not see that guy?
Okay, but by the way, because the play got called in so late because something was going on. Last night, I told you guys that I hate Buffalo playing in Houston, and I was 100% right. Everyone got hurt in this game. There was a line for the blue medical tent on the Bill side. Even the referee got hurt last night, okay? It was just house of horrors. But the play clock on the final drive malfunctioned. Do you remember this? Final drive for Buffalo. The play clock is malfunctioning. So Dawson Knox at one point catches a pass. The play clock never resets to 40. It's at 16, and the Bills are rushing back to the line trying to get a playoff because they're looking at the play clock dwindling. The Bills have the former head of officiating on their payroll. He's in a booth in Houston. Somebody tell Sean McDermott to get the attention of the referees so you're not all sped up. Terrible. Just terrible.
The last play, they had plenty of time because they had just false started.
No, but they didn't get the play call in on that 4th and 6, Pearl. This is what Josh Allen's talking about.
They had like a minute and a half.
Joe Brady cost himself a job last night.
No, I mean, first of all, Allen should have seen
And if you want to interview Joe Brady, go ahead. You want to have a 20-yard run from James Cook, and then you run him 3 more times right into the line. The guy's trying to get off the field because he's gassed at the end of the game, and instead they keep handing the ball off to him. I'm dying over here. The walls are closing in. What's the matter with this team?
Yeah, I first of all, so you're saying they're out of the playoffs?
Here's the reality.
They're going to easily get to the playoffs.
Here's the reality. There's 6 games left, okay? If they go 3-3, by the Athletic Playoff Predictor. If they go 3-3, which could absolutely happen, they're on the road at the Steelers next week. They play the Patriots again, this time on the road, and they play your Philadelphia Eagles.
In Buffalo.
But fine, whatever. The Eagles might be the best team in the NFL.
But they aren't. But go ahead.
Fine. They could easily lose that
the Bills
game.
will be favored. Okay.
They were favored last night, Pearl. That doesn't matter. They could easily go 3-3 down the stretch, and if they do, their playoff odds drop to 40%.
I would do. Okay, but do you really think this team isn't going to make the playoffs?
I know this team's not winning a Super Bowl, and that's where the bar is right now.
Okay, well, that I could do, but I mean, to treat this like calamity. You said all week they were going to likely lose.
I knew they were going to lose this game, and everyone told me, Maggie, no, they just beat the Bucs and they hung 40 on them, and everything's fixed. It's not. How dare you?
Davis Mills started out 1 for 8.
What's that?
Davis Mills started out 1 for 8.
He was awful last night.
The camera couldn't even figure out where he was throwing. They missed 4 plays. He stinks. I mean, that was an incredible loss because they should have blown them out in the first half. I don't know why the offense.
They were trailing at halftime.
Something happened to Allen where he just got uncomfortable. I mean, it must have been the pass rush. But
he might have broken his wrist at one point of the game and then popped back up like nothing was wrong.
What is going on with his hand?
I don't know. And he was shaking his hand out at the end of the game too.
I just think he was a mess last night. And I'm sorry, I know it was there were 8 sacks. I don't think 8 of them were on the O-line. I think there were several of them where Josh got happy feet. And I don't understand why Josh couldn't run forward. To the Texans' credit, they kept all the running lanes closed. Normally, what does he run 10 times a game? I didn't see that at all there.
That
was on the credit to the Texans. Keep those. I don't know why more people don't do that. Allen had what? He had 5 runs for 20 yards. That is well below. See, normally in that situation, Josh Allen escapes out the front of the pocket, but somehow they kept everything shut down so he couldn't use his superpower, which is running.
So Josh was significantly banged up in this game. Now, listen, he was still completing passes. Well, let's hear cut 14, please, where Josh Allen said he does feel fine, but admits that his shoulder went numb for a bit.
Just left shoulder, landed on it, and went a little numb on me. We're good.
Is that the play where he was bicycle kicking on the ground?
I mean, he's first team all tough guy, but it's just, and I'm glad that he, the way he was writhing around in pain on the ground, I thought the season was over. 100%, I thought the wrist was broken or whatever. And then he pops back up and he didn't even go in the blue medical tent. It was crazy.
But then the offense after that moment changed, it seemed like. He really fell apart. For the rest of most of the rest of the game. I don't know if that was the exact play, but they stopped running a functional offense at a certain point in the game because they started out just fine.
Well,
you guys are total idiots.
Well, fair.
Because remember, they got 7 points on a kick return, so really their offense did nothing.
No, 12 points. Yeah. That's what they put up against the Houston Texans. That first drive was incredible. Yeah, you have 10 plays, and James Cook rips off a 40-plus yard touchdown run. But, a couple things killed him. The Texans go on their best run, their best offensive series of the game in the second quarter, a 12-play, 77-yard touchdown drive. And then on the very next play, Josh Allen throws an interception. Not his fault, gets tipped up in the air by Al-Shaair, but you just give it right back to the defense. And to their credit, they held Houston to a field goal at that point, but now Houston's got the lead. And then you get the kickoff return for a touchdown. You're like, amazing. I said, watching your team do a kick return for touchdowns, like finding $20 in your coat pocket. It's like, hey, how amazing. And then they counter with another touchdown. 6-play drive, end of the half. Okay, trade some punts. And then the fumble from Shakir. I mean, at that point, you're driving. You're down 20-16, and he gets the ball, and it gets knocked out. That leads to a field goal because you set the Houston Texans up in short yardage because they couldn't do anything. Their offense, they had to gift them, basically, that good field position. And then the 9-play drive where they get down to 1st and 10 at the 15 and end up turning the ball over on downs because they can't get 2 yards. And that's when Joe Brady's running James Cook into the line 4 different times in a row. I just can't, Pearl. I can't it's like they're so inconsistent. And I hate to do this just from the Bills' point of view. We'll talk about this from the Texans. They now go to 5-6. They are live now in the playoff hunt. So credit to them. But
by the way, if Gabe Davis gets a foot half inch over, they win the game.
Oh, my gosh, I know.
So it's like all this, and they still could have won.
Can I take you all the way back? How about the opening drive where they score a touchdown and miss the extra point?
Yeah, I know.
Because then they're chasing it the whole time. They could have just tied the game with a field goal at the end and played for overtime. And then who knows what happens.
Yeah, not good.
Thank you. I realized that. And you guys want to bring up all the times the Bills failed? Yeah, I'm going to think about alcohol. I was thinking about it last night, but it was way too late. I'll think about it tonight. Because these are the kind of losses that kind of haunt you and stay with you a little bit, Pearl. Even though I told you guys Houston is a house of horrors for Buffalo. I hate playing there. And now you got multiple guys who are banged up, including Terrell Bernard, Spencer Brown, and Max Hairston. And maybe that doesn't mean a lot to the lay person out there, but it's your middle linebacker, your right tackle, and your one of your best corners.
Well, who's really not.
He's a rookie. And he's
been in and out.
Yeah, and he missed the first 6 games of the season.
I mean, those guys aren't that great anyway.
Someone talk me off the ledge because I am just dying here. And, it's crazy because the Patriots look so good. Granted, they haven't played anybody. They beat Buffalo, but they, it's just I always get on the Bengals because I'm like, how do you waste seasons when you got Joe Burrow and da-da-da. I mean, if we're looking at a season where the Bills don't make the playoffs or the Bills go in first round and lose to either the Texans on a rematch or they lose to Denver or they lose to who knows, I'm going to be out of my mind. It just seems like it's so inconsistent. I don't know.
But Maggie, at the same time, you look at the teams in the AFC, what defenses in the playoffs are you going to be seeing that's going to look like the Texans?
Maybe Denver. I mean, Denver's really good.
I don't know.
Denver Giants
Jackson Dart had looked like he was giving them problems. I mean, the Eagles for 3 quarters gave them problems. I mean, the Denver defense is good. I'm not going to disrespect them. They had a great game against the Chiefs. And that's maybe one team, but you might not even have to face them. Someone else may knock them out in theory. I just feel like that game, as bad as it was, like they got physically assaulted by the Houston Texans. Like it was just a straight up bullying, I felt.
And they still were in position to win the game and couldn't do it.
Right. They still were in position to win the game. And I just think that there are very few teams, I think, in the AFC that play defense like that. The AFC is kind of a weird conference. The Ravens don't play defense the way they used to. I think the Chiefs defense has kind of fallen off a little bit this year. I don't see like these elite defenses really. I see more offensive teams. So I think you're going to probably be in more shootouts than these 20 to 19 kind of games.
Well, the offense looked terrible last night. But that, again, because of the defense.
Texans, yeah.
But so the Texans defense, number one. The Colts defense is very good. I think the Ravens defense is coming on. I mean, obviously they look like all world against Shador, but we'll see what that's about. I think the Patriots defense is good. So I don't know.
But here's one thing. Josh Allen, I think, was coming off, a huge game against Tampa Bay. I think that Josh Allen was a little cocky coming in that game in the sense, the play where he got hit and he went down on the ground, everyone thought he was hurt. No pocket break. He's just like, I'm Josh Allen, I can do whatever we want. They can game plan differently. They didn't game plan well for this.
No, they didn't.
Like, Josh Allen's got to get the ball out of his hands immediately. And I think he's like in a bit of a Superman mode after last week. What was he? 3 touchdowns running, 3 touchdowns passing. No one's ever, by the way, I saw it said no one's ever gone from 6 touchdowns to 0 touchdowns week to week in like 60 years.
Welcome to the Bills experience in 2025.
But I think Josh Allen's got to wake up and understand that it's not going to be as easy as it was last week. Like the play where he got hit, he had no idea there was a guy behind him. He's like, I'm Josh Allen, no one can touch me. And then he woke up and it was way too late. Okay,
well, is it Josh playing hero ball because he wants to, or is it playing this because he feels like he has to? Because how
many sacks did he pivot away? He looked like
so
Shador
many.
Sanders.
No, I understand. But think about it. They had to bring back Gabe Davis, okay? Because Josh doesn't trust anybody, and Dalton Kincaid is out.
Yeah,
and
that's
Khalil
issue.
Shakir, they do trust, but he's had fumbles now the last couple games.
Yeah, it felt like they had no idea that they had this pass rush coming at them. Like their play calling was not adjusted. I mean, let's face it. Maybe that O-line can't hold up against Houston. They need a totally different approach. They should have played that game completely differently.
I agree.
Yeah. And by the way, they still should have won the game. I don't know.
I know.
I mean, the Texans' offense is not very good.
Not very good.
Can you
Terrible.
Imagine? I don't know what was the over-under on that game? Because that must have killed somebody. It was 20 to 16 and a half. You get 36 points in the first half, and you get 6 points in the second half.
And I credit the Bills defense, who's been, to say maligned would be kind. They actually kept him in the game in the second half.
Right. Oh, what a brutal.
I don't know.
What was it?
What was the over-under?
44.5.
Oh, my God. She get 36 points in the first half, and then nothing. It was, that stinks. Sorry for bettors out there who had the over. I don't know why you would take the over in that game. Maggie had me convinced that it was going to be 6-3. And it kind of felt that way.
Yeah, it was not. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. As the resident Bills fan here who's been tortured her entire life. I know it when I see it. This is not the team. And maybe that's obvious to everyone else as well.
Did you think last year was?
I thought last year was there were issues with the defense, but I thought last year they had a chance. The division wrapped up by Thanksgiving.
So,
Yes.
okay. So have a chance, and that's not even, you're not even giving them that qualification this year.
This is not the year. This isn't it. And they're going to keep riding with like the Jordan Poyers and
He looked good actually.
I mean, they're going to keep riding with these older guys like Tre'Davious White and whatever. Now I'm getting into the Bills nitty gritty of the depth chart, but they're going to ride with these guys partially because they have to because they're so injured. And the big question is, are they going to make a change after the season? And ironically, Sean McDermott's probably doing one of his best jobs with the defense this year, even though they are a sieve with the run defense. At least they were stout last night against a terrible offense. Held them to about 100 yards rushing, held them under 300 yards total. Sean McDermott did a fine job, again, with Davis Mills, on the other side. But changes have to come. Straight up impotent. You cannot keep doing this.
They're way better at home, obviously. They stink on the road this year, it seems.
Yeah, but they lost to the Patriots at home. I mean, you'll lose games at home.
Well,
I get that, but
that was another one where they were cocky. They're like, these Patriots sick. We're going to beat them. I felt like they weren't prepared for that.
In what world should the Bills be cocky? I mean, they have orchestrated, suffered, lived through some of the most brutal losses in the history of sport.
Yeah, but
not the sport. Sports. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, but everyone thought Josh Allen was Superman and be able to do it last night. I don't think anybody thought the Bills were going to actually lose that game until it was
rethink Superman because they couldn't finish the game out against New England. They couldn't finish the game out against Atlanta. They couldn't finish the game out last night against Houston. So rethink Superman, okay? And I'm still a fan, obviously, and he gives you the best chance to win. But boof, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. And the offensive line was overwhelmed, but he made it worse. All right, Houston side of things. I don't know. Get C.J. Stroud back. If he can actually play better, Pearl.
I don't know if
maybe
that
you have something here.
I am not 1,000% convinced that's the right move.
What, to bring him back?
Yeah, I mean,
you have
I don't know. He's looked pretty bad this year.
He has, but there's still time. You still have 6 games left in the season. There's time for him to turn it around. Meanwhile, are you with me? This is not the year for Buffalo, and let's talk about is the window closed. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476.
All right, Maggie. Maybe you can get in a better mood tonight by playing Prize Picks.
Doubt it. Well, Prize Picks will help.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of options. You got hockey, you got basketball, you got college football. And on Prize Picks, you keep the season rolling by getting $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. The app is so simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport. I mean, any sport. There's so many different options. Pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you could win big.
Okay, I got one for you. How about Benedict Mathurin? All right, so Indiana is clearly tanking the season, but Mathurin could be a big chip, Pearl, at the trade deadline coming up later this season. So they probably want to get him a lot of points. So I'm going to go 22.5 points, Benedict Mathurin. Let's go more than. And hey, how about old pal Chris Letang? 1.5 shots on goal. Let's go more than for the Pittsburgh defenseman. This is why we love Prize Picks, because even if your team suffers a brutal loss on Thursday Night Football, you get back on the wagon on Friday and you go about your day. Play along with us. So easy, so fun. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code MNP. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks. Get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. So win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're in a 4-minute break. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. Great chance to pour salt in Maggie's wounds if you want to call in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's nothing, trust me, there's no way to make her feel better. I have a list, by the way, that will crack you up.
Yeah.
Warren Sharp, our buddy, the analytics guy, tweeted, the Bills now have a losing record in road games since week 1, 2023. They're 11-12. Do you want to hear some of the QBs they've lost to on the road? I know you know this
I'm
list.
sure it's going to be gross.
Easton Stick.
Oh, I hated that game.
Sam Howell.
That was the
Justin
Chargers
Fields,
game, right? Easton
Tua,
Stick. Yeah.
Geno Smith, Joe Flacco, then Goff and Mahomes. That's okay. And now Davis Mills. I wonder, I mean, you can have a legit debate who's the worst quarterback on that list.
I mean, probably Stick. Maybe Mills.
Yeah, Mills was, well, actually, he played a little better after the beginning. But that.
No, Tua's like Dan Marino compared to some of the guys on that list.
Yeah, it's funny. I think you have to be a little better on the road to win a Super Bowl.
Think?
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Well, I mean, Buffalo, I didn't even really think that they had such a great home field advantage, but that really obviously is the key to this operation.
Listen, that, and it's another first place schedule. They always get, obviously, tons of primetime games, which I'm not making excuses now. But
wow, their schedule is like the 4th or 5th easiest in the league.
Well, but again, they're the ones playing Houston on the road, which is a horrible place for them to play. They're going to have to play your Eagles this year. Like, there are peppered in. They have to play the Chiefs every year. There are peppered in some really tough games. They play the Ravens every year, it feels like, in the regular season. So they do get some really tough things, but The other part of this, too, is the sacks that Josh Allen took last night, the O-line letting up all that pressure to a great defensive front from the Texans. But also, again, the story is the turnovers. They had 2 interceptions and a terrible fumble, and the one interception gets tipped. All right, what are you going to do? But it would just come off of a drive where your defense was out on the field for like 6 minutes, and then Josh gets a pass tip, so then the defense goes right back out on the field.
Oh,
They're
God.
tired.
They got lucky on that one because
They
that
held him to
should
a
have been
field goal.
Well, it should have been a touchdown, but that idiot blocked somebody
I
in
know,
the
the
back
block
right
in
in
the
front of
back.
the official.
I know. And by the
second-
way, the official got hurt last night,
Yeah.
pulls up lame, have to go to the backup official. And listen, all due respect to that guy, sir, you didn't do a good job last night. I mean, what was going on? The play clock, everything was off last night. I was incensed.
The actual second interception didn't really count. It was 4th down. He should have just dropped the ball. So that was not impactful. It was 4th and 6, right? And he threw the ball. The guy.
It was the end of the game.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the most impactful moment.
But that's not really a turn. I mean, if he had just dropped the ball, they actually would have gotten the ball 20 yards up. But it didn't matter. So it wasn't really the
Didn't
turn.
matter. It was the game. It was the ball game.
Right, but you said turnovers cost it. Like if that had been incomplete, it would have been the same result. Game was over.
Thank
Yeah.
you, smartest guy in the room. I mean, what do you? That's
But you
not
said-
making me feel better, dude.
Well, obviously.
No, but they lost.
4th down interceptions, I have a theory, shouldn't even really count as interceptions.
Well, when you need a touchdown to win the game, at that point,
count.
they do count. But I guess I should have put it
They're
this way.
usually a bad idea by the defense. I've seen so many times where the defense screws them over by like, oh, I'm going to catch this ball in this 4th down heave, and then you lose like 30 yards of. It didn't matter in that game.
No, I should say they lost the turnover battle again. How does that sound? This is what happened against Miami. Miami, they got blown out, but this is what happens. They lose the turnover battle, and it's just curtains. It's just curtains. Anyway, this is not the year for Buffalo. That's the takeaway. They're not a Super Bowl contender, and we'll see if they actually take this seriously in the offseason and what they do.
That is a thing that I think Brandon Beane, we gotta bring him into the light. Because he's also kind of arrogant. He talks about, oh, you guys think I need another wide receiver? Or, oh, you guys think this is Madden? But, like, I watched a team that, quite frankly, just didn't look that talented outside of Josh Allen.
They're really hurt.
Yeah.
But, yeah, also
right.
that.
I mean, just looking at, I watch the Texans. I know their offense maybe doesn't have that many stars, but I'm looking at their defense. I'm like, there are stars everywhere.
Yeah.
Derek Stingley, Hunter, Will Anderson's a monster. Al-Shaair, he almost made the pick that ended up, almost being a pick 6 before they called the flag back. They got players all over the place. And I'm looking at the Bills, and I'm like, I just don't see. I see Josh Allen. I see a franchise
James
left
Cook.
tackle. And I see James Cook on the defense. Where are the stars? Where are the guys that are the big difference makers, the game changers, the game breakers? I don't really see that on that side.
But
For
you
a
wanna
team
know-
that's a Super Bowl team, it's a little weird.
You want to know the funny part? They paid a lot of those guys. They paid Ed Oliver, who's injured right now. They paid Rousseau, Epinesa. These are their draft picks that they kept and are keeping.
And sometimes that's a bad thing when you have a GM who's been there for a long time, because you start to fall in love with your own guys.
Yep.
And those guys have been respectable, solid players. None of them have become superstars, but they've been decent draft picks. But not moving on from some of those guys or not making bold moves to maybe go after a Micah Parsons or someone like that, I think is holding the Bills back.
No, EJ, they did. It was just wrong. Von Miller, who they gave $50 million to, was a total. He got hurt the first year and couldn't finish the season, and then was a waste after that / an embarrassment. And then Joey Bosa now, who actually hasn't been bad, but now he's hurt and he's basically playing with one arm.
But Joey Bosa, even
I know,
and
I get
his
it.
career, like Von Miller, this is past Denver, where's their Micah Parsons? Where is there even? I know they wanted Quinnen Williams, and
that wasn't gonna happen.
he blamed the Jets for not trading within their division. Said that the Jets GM was dumb. I don't understand that. Brandon Beane, I think, does. When we look at this situation, the Bills indeed fall short. We keep talking about Sean McDermott. I think we got to start looking at the general managers and saying, what are you doing to get them over the top?
They're a package deal.
Yeah, no question.
They basically came in together 1 year apart, but they were together in Carolina, came in together, and I think they should exit together. Let's get to Bogish, who's got the latest. What's up?
Good morning. Your headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks, the hard-hitting football action. Even better with Prize Picks. Download Prize Picks. Use code PRIMETIME and get $50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. That Houston Texans defense did treadmills no favors last night. So many angry Bills fans stomping their way through a primetime loss.
Allen back to throw. Allen airing it out. Allen picked off by Bullock. It's over. The Texans are going to do it.
Mark Vandermeer on Texans radio. That was the pick by Kalen Bullock that didn't really matter except for ending the game. His second pick, his third takeaway, salting away this 23-19 Houston win. DeMeco Ryans' defense looking every bit the top-ranked unit it is.
Credit goes to, first and foremost, our defensive line. Like, for the way they go out, the way those guys relentlessly rush the passer, and everybody on the back end is playing sound and playing together. When we do that, we're tough to move the ball again. So our players are doing an outstanding job.
And just enough offense from Davis Mills, 153 yards, 2 scores to get their third straight win. The Bills, meanwhile, now 2 games behind the Patriots in the loss column. Josh Allen threw those 2 picks, again was sacked a career worst 8 times plus 4 other hits.
Yeah, it's not fun. I ran into a couple myself. I got to be better with throwing the ball away and living to see another down and letting us play some situational football and pinning them deep. And too many times I was going backwards, and I got to be better on that.
Yeah, one of those times he went backwards, then forwards, then backwards, then left, then right, then backwards, then forwards, and backwards, cost the Bills 18 yards on 1 sack by itself.
I thought it was Shedeur Sanders out there.
Mack Rhodes has officially stepped down as Baylor AD. The school's saying it was his decision, but there remains some kind of investigation into something that Rhodes did or did not do. 8 days ago, he took a personal leave from the school and gave up his role as the chair of the CFP selection committee. He's the 3rd straight Baylor AD to leave under weird circumstances, to use a very broad term. The 2 previous guys with serious issues with head coaches, and then whatever this is that all of a sudden has made him walk away.
Was Ken Starr, he wasn't the AD, he was like the provost or something right?
Like,
the guy from the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky scandal all those years ago? And then was at Baylor?
Yeah.
I love how you put it was something he either did or did not do. I'm going to go with did. I don't know
we
if
still
it's
don't know.
He did not. If he did nothing, I think he still has the job. By the way, can they just bring him back to talk to Reese Davis on Tuesdays and get the other guy out of there? Like, Mack Rhodes.
Was he better than Hunter Yurachek?
He could communicate. I know he's now resigned or fired in scandal or whatever, but maybe he can still come back just to do these quick hits with Reese on Tuesdays.
Could they hire someone to teach these men how to form a complete sentence about college football?
This is what I'm saying. Have one of the former coaches who's in the room do it. They're used to talking in front of a crowd.
Let's jump to the NBA. The problems continue for
Douglas Dale Christie. I'm head coach of the Sacramento Kings.
Those Kings took a 137-96 beating in Memphis last night. Sacramento has dropped 8 straight, all by double digits. This was the 4th by at least 27 points in this stretch.
Maybe they shouldn't have fired Mike Brown.
I mean, there's like 15 coaches. Maybe they shouldn't have fired Mike Malone.
Oh, that was 10 years ago. But
yeah,
definitely.
Rick Adelman.
Well,
I don't think there are any good coaches before
Rick
Adelman. So I couldn't think of anyone else.
Maybe he wasn't. I don't know.
Men's number 2, Houston, put a 91-46 hurting on Ryder. Andre Ware had 18 points and 5 assists. And wait till you hear what happened before a game in Russia's Pro Hockey League yesterday.
Все-таки провела это символическое вбрасывание. Да, я смотрю, что ребята напряглись на вбрасывание, потому что собака настроена достаточно агрессивно. Сейчас перчатка Стася в музей отправится, судя по всему.
Can you believe that?
That is crazy.
Yeah, back to you guys.
If that happens to me one more time, I mean,
so
shocking.
they brought out a canine dog and its handler for the ceremonial puck drop. And for obvious reasons, lights, crowd, noise, the dog didn't handle it well and took a bite out of each player who was there for the opening faceoff. The second guy put his hand out to pet the dog. The dog bit his hand and would not release.
Oh, my God.
So the hockey player's got his glove in this dog's mouth. The handler is doing whatever to try to get the dog off. There's like a 10-second, in the clutches of the dog, this poor hockey player.
Wait, why was the call then, so calm?
Well, it's Russian.
It's Russia, yeah. They're hardcore.
Business as usual.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, the dog's got the hand and it's bloody. We need Gus Johnson on this.
They're wearing gloves. Right?
Yeah, the glove was there. I don't know if a tooth got through the underside of the glove. It was just a little bit of thing of leather, but I didn't see blood. There is an oi in there that I think is when the bite happens, but yeah. they're subdued.
A bit different than I'd be like, if that's Kevin Harlan or one of our most excitable announcers on it, that
Gus
thing
Johnson.
is viral.
Well, Gus Johnson, would he be faking it or would he be being legit?
Yeah, would he be a disgrace? Who called him a disgrace?
Yeah, Valenti.
Mike Valenti.
Mike Valenti, right. Yeah. Do we get Tony Romo on it? Here we go, Jim. Here comes the
What
dog.
a dog.
What a dog.
What a dog.
Deserves
What
a
dog.
day.
What a bite.
Can't believe it. Folks, thank you. Coming up, lots to do, including you can weigh in. Are you with me or not that this is not the year for Buffalo? Meanwhile, we've got more drama with Perloff's team in Philadelphia. And how about real-life family drama playing out with the LA Lakers? That was crazy yesterday. We get into the TikTok of all that's going on with the Bus family in just moments. It's Maggie and Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Let's go, Nick! Let's go, baby! There's a roof.
You're good.
Oh, well, Maggie, you didn't tell me there's a roof.
Perk your ears up, my man.
Perk your ears up. I'm a little older, but my swing is the same. Ask the ladies, the females, and all the dames. Here's some medication, Kaplan. I think you're going insane. I'll treat you like little shop of horrors. Feed me, Seymour. You're easy to consume. Kronos and Zeus get nervous when I enter the room. I pull a full court press. Have the papers reading Andrew Kaplan. May he rest. I take low brow, low budget AI using rappers and send them to the deepest, darkest depths. I don't need AI to have my back. I'm a north side cat with 5 dudes tat. At this age, I'm trying to chill and relax and just lay back with senoritas and margaritas, but I can come out of retirement for one more sack. Slow down. You're not the head of the class. That AI scoring got you thinking you're moving to the head of the class. I'm the king of the ring. I see you pull the muscle, you're not running too fast. And you done messed around and got big friendly on your...
No AI there.
All right, friendly.
Now I'm willing to squash it now, Cap. I know you're sitting back with your little fingers typing and getting all intricate, baby.
3 minutes
but
remaining.
hey, big friendly is the monument of Mount Olympus of California, baby. I'm on there. And I don't got work today, Cap, so I got...
Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
to have my back.
You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew. You would see the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached
2 minutes
would
remaining.
say, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining.
See the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a
1 minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Bro, we got so much football to do, but I was wondering if you were feeling a little bit like a relief because everyone's been focused on your Eagles and all the dysfunction in the locker room and whether or not Jalen Hurts is changing plays and stuff. And then here come the Lakers, who nice, bright, shiny Lakers. And obviously they got sold, recently. So the owner of the Dodgers now is going to own the Lakers. But they've dismissed now 2 of the Bus brothers are no longer going to be part of the franchise.
But, I mean, do you watch a show on Netflix?
I did watch that show on Netflix when I had the pukes.
That is all documentary fact. They must be crazy, like the guys on the show. What's the show called? Showtime? What's Kate Hudson plays Jeannie Buss, and her brothers are these wild characters. The Buss family must be awesome. I would like to spend Thanksgiving with them.
Well, I think we actually got unfortunately, I think the coolest member of the Buss family, I think, has sadly passed away. I think Dr. Jerry Buss was the coolest member.
I think Jeannie's cool.
You're asking who would you want to hang out with? I mean
if I'm watching that Lakers show, Winning Time, Dr. Buss definitely was
Dr.
the
Buss
guy.
is the OG.
No.
I want to be at the Forum
He's old.
Club.
Oh, yeah. He's the OG. There's no doubt about it. But I think Jeannie seems great, by the way. I've heard very nice things about her.
Maybe, but I mean,
couldn't have heard it from the Buss brothers because they were mad yesterday.
Joey and Jesse were not doing that.
There really was a coup, right? They did that in the show, but it was based on a real fact that they tried to kick Jeannie out like 3 times. I figured you would back her.
I do. I just think Laker fans, before the Luka trade fell out of the sky, I think that maybe people had some real concerns about the revolving door of coaches,
people around her,
and the roster. You're trying to maximize the end of LeBron's career here,
but that's got to be on the GM, right?
Yeah, and they hired she hired Magic, and then he publicly quit on her, even though they're best friends. And then Kobe's agent, and honestly, grade Rob Pelinka pre-Luka trade, he didn't have anything to do with that. That was Nico Harrison, making the biggest mistake of his life.
Right. I mean, this is typical, though, when a company buys another company. It's a matter of time before they kick out the previous principals. So do you expect anything to change because of any of this? It feels like the Lakers are going to get a little more corporate, less family business.
Yeah, maybe that's better. I mean, look what the Dodgers have done. You can't argue that things have gotten a lot better. They spend it's going out of style. Now, this is different because you have an actual salary cap in basketball, and it can get very punitive with that whole second apron and stuff. But unfortunately, one of the Buss brothers is actually dealing with some health issues, so you don't want to make too much of fun of it. And I'm not making fun. It's just such a intriguing family drama, It's a little like WWE had a little bit of this, although they've kind of stabilized. Obviously the Murdochs and Fox, and they kind of stabilized, and eventually they kept it somewhat in the family. This stuff is just interesting to me.
Like the HBO show
Succession.
Yeah. Now, so these guys that were let go were not, they were like a different marriage or something, right?
What's that?
They're a different marriage.
Oh, I don't know.
Right, the brothers who had the coup are already gone, I think. But so she stays on with the team, though. I don't know.
She's going to stay on the team, but for how long?
Well, I think that them kicking out Joey and Jesse Buss is not so surprising. Exactly. When ownership changes hands, it's just a matter of time. I actually thought when you said the Lakers, you're talking about the fact that the big deal. Bronny's going back down to the G League. What's up with that?
Yeah, I did see that headline, and then I scrolled right past it. I kept going.
Come on,
I don't have the energy for Bronny anymore. We did that for like
you can't
6 months.
You can't go back to Bronny?
Nah, I'm okay. Lakers are off to an 11-4 start this year, so I think they dodge some of the Bronny silliness.
You know who else can't deal with Bronny anymore? Clearly, J.J. Redick, because he was mad when he was playing the other night. He was yelling, Bronny, shoot the ball. Which I don't know why. He's shooting 20% from the field.
I was going to say, are you sure? Bronny, pass the ball to Austin Reeves.
Bronny, go
Luka.
get some water. Bronny,
Although I don't think he's playing with Lucas when Luka's on the floor.
Bronny, go get Luka some Gatorade. That would be what I'll yell at him.
That's kind of where he should be at, 888-710-4ISN. But meanwhile, back to your Eagles, Pearl. And, I thought Dan Orlovsky was pretty good on this yesterday. I thought he made a pretty salient point and about Jalen Hurts has become this really polarizing quarterback. You have all these guys coming out of the woodwork now to say that, or not all these guys. There's been a report out of Philadelphia where, he was not playing what they practice. He's changing the plays. Whether there's some nuance there, black and white, let's call it what it is. Jalen Hurts right now is getting like scapegoated. He is the one who is now taking on the significant part of the blame. And maybe that just happens when you're the quarterback, and especially in a place like Philadelphia where the knives are always out, despite whether you've won a Super Bowl last year or not. But I thought Orlovsky, I'll give him credit. I thought he did have a good point. All Jalen Hurts does is keep his head down and win. At least publicly, he does all the things you'd want of a quarterback. He doesn't seem like a knucklehead. And yet he's enemy number one right now in Philly, it seems.
I'm not sure that's true. That he's enemy number one. I think that, A.J. Brown and the rest of the team seems to have an issue. But don't you think this is, again, I said it yesterday, don't you think the coaching staff wants Jalen Hurts to play like this? I mean, he never throws the ball downfield. Like, this can't be all Jalen Hurts. It has to be by design. I mean, let's look at the Eagles coaching staff. I'll lay out the players. Nick Sirianni's the head coach. Kevin Patullo is the offensive coordinator, and Vic Fangio is the defense. Who is the strongest of those three?
Fangio.
So don't you design your offense so they just don't screw up the defense? That's I think that's exactly who they want to be. And they call plays like they want to win conservatively. So I don't even know why anyone would blame Jalen Hurts.
Well, then why do you have $200 million basically invested into 2 wide receivers if you don't want to throw the ball?
Because
Howie Roseman is actually the most important out of all these guys.
Yeah.
You didn't name him. He's the general manager.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think in case you need it in the playoffs, if Jalen Hurts is going to stink all season, then he's going to get indoors against some team in the playoffs and just go bananas like he does against the Chiefs in the Super Bowls. Yeah, I just think that's a break in case of emergency situation. I think this conservative plan, they're looking at their roster and saying, you know what, we're better on defense right now. For whatever reason, because their line's all banged up, they can't run the ball. I think that they want to slow this game down. For the Cowboys, it's going to cause a lot of problems for them. I don't think they want to get in a shootout because Jalen Hurts is not that kind of quarterback. Is that kind of what Orlovsky was saying, he just wins? I think this is all by design, and it's a bigger picture than just him.
Okay, but if it's by design, then why isn't everyone on the same page about what the philosophy is? Because you can't go 5 minutes without A.J. Brown getting upset about it.
And that's a receiver thing, right?
But then they feed him. So then they give him 12 targets in the first half that basically they make him look like he's right. Like he was right to complain. They're rewarding the behavior of him, speaking out publicly, and then they force feed him. So if it was really the plan, why are they deviating from the plan then to try to spoon feed A.J. Brown, I guess, just to keep him quiet when you know that that's not going to work?
I mean, the funny thing is they win this game you're talking about. They beat Detroit 16-9. It wasn't even really that close. Jalen Hurts threw for 135 yards.
Yeah.
And they beat arguably one of the top 5 teams in the NFL rather easily. What does that tell you?
Well, and this is why I think it's insane, because it's like in Philadelphia, all of a sudden, by the way, how many former Eagles are in the media? Holy moly.
Yeah, maybe it's a function of that.
I'm watching Jason Kelsey crying or getting choked up yesterday, talking on WIP about how he didn't talk to Lane Johnson for a year and they got over it. And then Seth Joyner obviously is there. And I saw Deshaun Jackson said something yesterday, and Donovan McNabb is going to weigh in. And then you got to get Ron Jaworski's got to say something. I'm missing like 10 people.
Yeah, no, the Philadelphia Eagles are like Degrassi. Like, that show Degrassi, the Canadian TV show, where like just all the generations of people, they're just always on the show. You could have been from the 80s show, the 2000s show, whatever 2020 reboot they're still doing. They're just all part of it. Like, they never actually leave school. They never left the high school. They're just always there somehow.
Well, that's because Philadelphia is secretly a one-sport town. Like, there's nothing. Tyrese Maxey's probably going to win the MVP, and no one's even going to notice because they're going to be paying attention to the Eagles. So I think that's what sells.
Yeah, but there's plenty of one-sport towns, and I don't see nearly the amount of people in the media. Like Kansas City is a one-sport town, but I don't see every time Patrick Mahomes is a hangnail, I don't see 50 former Chiefs out there to explain and talk about how dysfunctional it is.
Yeah, the Chiefs, it's funny. Now that you mentioned, I was actually thinking that. Like, they don't really make, at least on my timeline, much of a national splash from the media side. I mean,
Green Bay is a one-team town. I don't see all the former Packers being like, Jordan Love sucks. I mean, they all kind of close ranks.
Well, I mean, this is a Northeast thing. It's where, like, the power, the big media. I mean, like, for example, 98% of all NBA media comes from Boston, which is the weirdest thing of all time. And Philly, New York. I mean, at least that's what we see. I mean, I don't think there's any. The way that those sports pages have covered those teams for years have created this tradition where, like, we know what's going on. It's a big open debate, and they bring in millions of people, and you make a lot of money with D.C., Boston, New York. This is how the Northeast does its sports.
Wait, Pearl, if you don't want to hear Christian Okoye's takes on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense?
Yeah.
Man, I've been waiting.
Have you guys, our late friend Don Banks from Sports Illustrated, he used to talk to me. He's like, oh, my God, thank God the Patriots are winning. It is a media boom here in New England. Basically, anybody who ever covered the team or played on the team got a media job immediately. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's these other one-sport cities, so to speak, where one team is so far and away most important than any of the other teams, and I just don't see every former player coming out of the woodwork. And by the way, I could see that now because the world is so connected on social media that if something happens with the Vikings, I'm going to know about it. But I don't see, Randy Moss coming in to talk about J.J. McCarthy's struggles. And Randy's in the media. Like, I don't see Chris Carter in the media, but I don't see them all coming to pile on. It feels like with the Eagles, everyone has to let their voice be heard. Like, no one sits one out.
Chris Carter is in the mix right now.
Is he in the mix right now?
Yeah,
you're talking about JJ?
JJ McCarthy.
I'm
JJ
sorry.
McCarthy's coach came out and said some mean things, right?
It was like an assistant coach went to war with Chris Carter or something. Something bad's going on with Chris Carter.
I'm sorry. I misspoke then. I did not see that. So
No, I mean, listen, you're right. It does seem more intense with Philly, but there probably is a tradition. We might not see it all the time. I mean, that's how. I mean, any football team, it's funny. They don't always have the best players who come back and comment on the team. They have like the journeyman or like the guy who played there for 8 years and never made an all-pro team. Those are the guys we hear from the most, too.
Well, not for Philly. Donovan McNabb, Jason Kelsey. These are like two of the best guys in your history of the franchise.
Oh, yeah, but there's like 100 other guys who are on the radio there. Maybe I'm
Brandon Graham has a show.
Not
Jordan
anymore.
Mailata has a show.
Now he's playing, so I guess he retired the show.
Mailata's got a show, doesn't he?
That's true, too.
These
and
guys
Hugh Douglas.
Oh, yeah, Hugh, for sure. He's on every day.
Exactly.
Yeah. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. If the Eagles do not repeat as Super Bowl champions, is the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts relationship going to be the main reason why?
No, Lane Johnson's injury status is the number one, number two, and number three big thing. I like the Cowboys this weekend. Doesn't everybody? I don't even know. Like, how can you not like the Cowboys this weekend against a banged-up Eagles O-line?
Because the Eagles' defense is really good. Really good.
I know, but Dak has always owned Fangio-style defenses. He never beats Fangio, but he has incredible numbers against him.
He doesn't beat him. Why is he going to this weekend?
Well, he hasn't played him. He played him once in week one. That's the only time he saw him as the Eagles defensive coordinator. And he looked really good before the rain delay. I feel like it's going to be hard for the Eagles to beat Dak Prescott twice.
We have some news also out of Dallas. We finally got the reason why CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens were both benched, plus for the first drive. Also, we have CeeDee Lamb setting the record straight on a rumor that was rampant online. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Also, looky, who was doing 2 full days of practice and looks like they're on track to play. We'll tell you which quarterback is trending in the right direction next. It's Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining.
I gotta wait. You gotta wait. I know that.
Is this the first time you've ever sung?
Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
We need to help him
Good
out here.
time never seemed so good.
So good. So good. So good.
I've been inclined bum, 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 to believe
Now you feel
they
it.
never would. Good times never seem so good. So good. So good.
So good.
I've been inclined.
Now you feel it. Let's go.
To believe they never would.
All right. Wow.
This now, Bill, make me want to shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Come on now. Come on now. The Bills are making it happen now. Stand up and come on and shout. Yeah. Yeah. Come on and shout. Kick it up now. Shout, 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 shout. Bills are making it happen now. Go Josh Allen. Freddie Jackson. Eric Moulds. Makes me want to shout, 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 shout. I can't follow all the lyrics here. Bills, Bills, Bills. Hey,
Peerless Price.
hey.
Eagles fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! I gotta wait.
$30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Allen with split backs. He's in the gun. Here's the snap. Pressure right up the middle. Allen, flag down. Allen sacked again at the 30-yard line.
And this is going to be a hold.
Mario Edwards Jr. with the sack. And Allen is shaken up on the play.
Yeah, Ryan Van Demark is the guy that is in at right tackle. That's who the hold's going to be on.
8 sacks. What a night.
Texans Radio Network. Yeah, what a night, making Josh Allen extremely uncomfortable. Bills lose this one to the Texans on the road. And you know what? Don't look now, Pro, but the Texans now have an above 500 record, doing this with a backup quarterback who's not playing very well. But the defense is so good that they have kept themselves in the mix. And welcome to the show, by the way, if I didn't say that. Maggie, Perloff, you hanging out on this Friday. Some of these sacks were on the offensive line. They got eaten up last night by Danielle Hunter and by Will Anderson Jr. and a host of just ferocious defensive linemen. And some of it was also on Josh Allen, who was spinning out of, getting a little happy feet. He had nowhere to go. He's spinning out of the pocket, turning his back to the play, and just generally going backwards.
Yeah, I don't understand, and I think this is a defensive sign. How come normally when he's spinning around and running, he moves forward down the field?
Yeah.
That wasn't there last night.
Nope, and it's kind of not been there against some of the better defenses. He had trouble doing this against Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I think Josh is losing a step necessarily, but, you did lose your right tackle in this game, Spencer Brown, who has been banged up all year. They've had issues on the offensive line, but then some of it is really self-inflicted. Despite all the issues from Buffalo last night, you get to a 4th and 1 on their final drive of the night, and Deion Dawkins, who's getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, and Pro Football Focus, and great left tackle, and All-Pro, and this, that, and the other, and he false starts. And I did get scammed. And I know that it's loud in there, and I get that you can't hear, but it felt like the Bills on that final drive had never been in a tight game before or a close game. The communication was off. You convert a 4th and 27 on a lateral play from Palmer to Shakir, and then you can't actually get into the end zone because Gabe Davis can't get a second foot down, and then Josh Allen throws a pick. Just inconsistent. Yeah. And this is not the year for Buffalo.
You say
Not
that,
a
and I
Super Bowl
totally
year.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But last year wasn't the year either. Last year was supposed to be a rebuilding year, and they were underdogs at home against Baltimore, and they found a way to win that game. And they were also, I think they were underdogs against KC in the final game in Kansas City, and they found a way to basically be at the brink of winning that game. They weren't supposed to do anything last year, and they made a really great postseason run. So what makes you so sure that this year is so different from last year?
Well, because the Patriots were not actually a factor last year. So you still won the division easily and got this red carpet into the playoffs and into one of the top seeds to get a home game.
Yeah, but they
don't have that this
played
year.
A great game at Kansas City, too. I mean, a really good game. Actually, probably played their best game of the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Kansas City was really one of their best teams last year.
Yeah.
I know they went to the Super Bowl. They got smoked by your Eagles, but Kansas City was living and dying on these one-score wins last year, and Kansas City, the rest of the division, was not as good.
But their offense woke up
year.
for that game against Buffalo.
Yep, that's true.
I just think that, all that being said, you think about it, they're probably going to be most likely be a wild card team.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know if a lot of teams are going to want to see them. Because Josh Allen will hopefully learn to run forward again and not run backwards, forward. I saw Next Gen Stats. He traveled more yards running on his feet than the wide receivers did last night. I don't know what. Just throw it away, dude. There were a lot of things that went wrong last night, but I think if they get some game tape on that, I think they would play the Texans better. They would be much more just get rid of the damn ball. Throw it, man! Him.
Throw it anywhere, but
throw it out of bounds. Just stop taking hits.
Did a lot of that.
He's a little cocky about hits.
Well, so obviously at one point Josh Allen goes down in a heap, and you think that maybe his wrist is broken, fingers broken, elbows broke. I don't know. Something went seriously awry. Then he pops up like everything's fine. But at the end of the game, he also was seen shaking out his hand. He said at one point his shoulder went numb. I mean, this Texans defense had everyone in a body bag last night, not just Allen. There's literally a line outside of the Bills' blue medical tent so that guys could go in there and get checked out. Multiple starters had to leave the game last night. Hell, the referee left the game last night. It was in the air. And Buffalo is going to have to use this mini bye because next week they play the Steelers, whose defense has been rejuvenated over the last few weeks.
So let me ask you this. Buffalo, they're the 6th seed right now. If the playoffs were today, they play the Colts in the first round.
They don't match up well against the Colts
You're
at
telling
all.
me Daniel Jones is going to beat Josh Allen in the
No,
playoff
I'm telling
game?
you,
I can't get my head around
Jonathan Taylor could beat the Bills, is what I'm telling you. I don't know what Daniel Jones. Davis Mills beat the Bills last night, technically, if you want to, that's what the record is going to reflect. So, they're
people are
beatable.
not going to believe that till they see it.
And that's in Indy, by the way. So
Yeah, I know. I guess the Bills stink on the road.
The Bills stink on the road, but also, if Jonathan Taylor is still running the way he's running, that's going to be a long day.
But that being said, you can see Josh Allen also running a lot in that game. Do or die, he is going to completely sell out for the run. And he is the craziest quarterback sneaker I've ever seen. He gained 6 yards on a 1-yard plunge last night. I would just run that play all the time. I remember he did the tush push where he had 16 yards and fumbled. Maybe incorporate the effective quarterback sneak. He's so tall. He just falls out. So 4th and 1, don't hand the ball off. Just have Josh Allen sneak.
Okay, but
run,
if you
run. Tush push.
That didn't work in the playoffs last year against Kansas City. Do you want to revisit that
Well, he
one?
went there.
I don't
Is
want
that
to
the one
revisit
where he ran around and went around the guard? That play, you mean?
They failed on a tush push in Kansas City last year, and it was devastating. And by the way, if his wrists are all messed up or if he's getting hurt and crunched, then you can't be really doing those tush pushes and doing those quarterback sneaks. I mean, he did go back under center after he fell and was writhing on the ground in pain. But anyway,
you say that, but you know he's going to run like crazy if they make the playoffs.
So if they go 3-3 the rest of the way, which is totally normal, would be totally believable for Buffalo, then their chance to make the playoffs goes down to 40%, which is not where you want to be with teams like Kansas City and like Baltimore or Pittsburgh or Jacksonville. You have these other teams fighting for this wild card. And then looky what we got here. Yesterday, Pearl, Joe Burrow for a second straight day, full participant at practice with the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Bengals' chances to make the playoffs this year are less than 1%. Okay? They're 3-7. This season, it's over. This is why I would not bring Joe Burrow back. I would not rush him back, bring him back.
I know.
You've lost 3 in a row. You've got New England, at Baltimore, at Buffalo, Baltimore again, Miami, Arizona, Cleveland. You're not making the playoffs here, right?
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know why they're bringing back. And this is not just me saying, I don't want to see Joe Burrow. I don't. But this is not the Bills fan in me. I'm just saying, I'm looking
Burrow didn't even look good when he was healthy earlier in the year. This team around him is not ideal right now.
I'm looking at the playoff simulator. It's literally 1%, 2%, 3%. There's just nothing meaningful here for Cincinnati, and it just feels like one of those things, Pearl, where people are trying to save their jobs. Zach Taylor, I don't know why they would, rush Joe Burrow back, but it feels like this sort of cover your butt move. To show that they're going in the right direction so that everyone gets to stay when this is not in the best interest of Joe Burrow's future.
I guess so. It's turf toe, right?
Yeah, he had surgery on it.
It's a toe. It's not like the guys.
Athletes about it. I'm not doing that.
Tell Deion Sanders that.
I know, but I don't think it's.
The Kelseys were talking about on their podcast. So it's a funny name, turf toe, but how incredibly painful.
I know. Dr. Positano, a good friend of the show, renowned foot doctor, is the single expert on turf toe. It says it can affect you the rest of your life. But I don't know. Let's not make it seem like he's coming back from having a MCL, ACL, PCL tear or something. Just go out there with a little brace on your toe. It'll be cute.
I don't know if they can do that. I think it's about grabbing the ground, right? You don't realize how much your toes are actually kind of grabbing.
Yeah, but you push off on that. I don't know if it's right or left, but you push off on one of the big toes. Yeah, listen, I don't know that the team is doing this. I think Joe Burrow is probably driving this. That dude looks so miserable when he's not playing.
I get it, but listen, you're going to be more miserable if you somehow re-aggravate this injury or hurt yourself again, and then your off season is completely toast because now you're rehabbing some other ridiculous injury,
Yeah, I'm not so worried about Joe Burrow. I don't think they even have a chance to make a playoff run because the defense is terrible. So what are we even doing here? I mean, he's a player. He wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess let's do best case scenario here. If the Bengals beat the New England Patriots this week again, beat the Ravens in Baltimore, beat the Bills in Buffalo, and then beat the Ravens again in Cincinnati. So if Joe Burrow goes on a 4-game heater, now their chance to make the playoffs is 47%. Do you think that with this defense, they can win those 4 games? I do not.
Definitely not.
Right.
Right.
And that's
yeah, they're 3-7.
Yeah, it's a wrap for me. I don't know. I don't know if Bengals fans feel a little bit different. Do you just want to see Joe just to remind yourself that you actually do have a great quarterback? I'm not sure.
Also, too, it's going to be hard. You're going to need a good record in the AFC. You laid out, but there's so many bottom feeders in that. You got a lot of people get easy wins over the Browns, the Jets, teams like that.
Titans.
So you're going to have to be. You're definitely going to have to win at least 10. So that means that basically they have to be undefeated because they're 3-7. There's just zero chance.
At best.
I don't know.
At beat me.
Your little playoff percentage thing. I'm putting it at 0.0.
Well, that's what it's literally less than 1% is what it looks like
Okay.
right now. It's like that less than sign that you learned in math class.
You got a 33 and a third chance of winning.
So there you go. 888-710-4ISN. We will get to the big college games of the weekend as well, including USC Pearl traveling to Autzen Stadium in Oregon for a big, classic Pac-12 showdown now in the Big Ten. Ramon's in Indy. Razor Ramon, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. My great people here. Boy, you guys got me painting this morning. I'm old here and here. I've studied a lot of media and narratives and stuff, and I don't know why we keep making excuses for Josh Allen. If Joe Burrow doesn't make the playoffs, Perloff, that's 3 years in a row. Great quarterbacks don't miss the playoffs 3 years in a row. All we hear from you all is dogging out Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson is getting any breaks. Besides this Sunday's game, the week before that Buffalo game, Josh Allen looked like he was a rookie. He was running around
against
backwards,
Miami.
doing all kind of stupid stuff out there. He looked terrible. So why we keep making excuses for if Joe Burrow misses the playoffs, that's 3 straight years because we just don't keep living on something 5 years ago, and just because Josh Allen maybe had a couple good playoff games. You only as good. Janet Jackson said, "What have you done for me lately?" And lately, he looked terrible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ramon, so here's the thing about that, right? I get what you're saying. And there have been times when Josh Allen has had some really bad moments. Really bad. Even against Tampa, where he ends up having this all-time game, the 6 touchdowns. He maybe threw one of the worst interceptions he'll ever throw in his life in that game. The point is they're inconsistent. But to put it all on Allen, he's still the best player they have. And it's not even close. So you can criticize him, and that's fine. And we have been critical of Josh Allen when he warrants it. And we're talking about how he caused some of these sacks last night, or at least made them worse than they needed to be. But Pearl, he's the best player on the team.
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, I feel like you're talking about a different sport because, of course, the quarterback, you don't say the quarterback is the best player on the team because he's the quarterback.
Janet
So
Jackson said, "What
he
have
better
you
be the
done
best
for me
player on the
lately?"
team.
He is.
But you're so-
Myles
but-
Garrett is the best player on the Browns. He's not the quarterback. You can
But
have other
generally, though, like
players.
But when you say that, that means like, oh, okay, so should we run? You're saying you should run him more? Like, what do you mean he's the best player? Like, he is so dependent. Like, he's got to have weapons around him. They shouldn't really. He might be the best player on the team, but this is a whole both unit thing going on. Like, the team, as you've described, is built wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, it has nothing really to do with Josh Allen necessarily. Like, they've been trying to figure out how do we build the right thing around him, and they just have not done it. Like, they've short shrifted the weapons, Maggie. You've said it before.
I know. And James Cook, though, has been excellent. Like, he is a draft pick that worked out for them, that they paid, and he has been really good. But when he picks up 20 yards on a run, you can't then run him into the line 3 more times. He's gassed. He's begging to get out of the game. Like, that's on Joe Brady to me. That's on the play calling. I just think that Josh, like, if you look at Josh Allen and say that he's top 5 things wrong with this Bills team, you're not looking at the right stuff.
Oh, yeah. No.
To me.
I
Roster construction, offensive line, defense, coaching, play calling. And
But
not
yeah, but
being, and
I
not
hate
being
to say it, like,
buttoned up. Like,
to
not,
defend Joe Brady, what exactly, who are you going to call? Whose number? Shakir?
Shakir, how about you can go to Ray Davis? You could go to Ty Johnson. You figured
They do that all the time. You need wide receivers to get open too.
Pearl, you can't run even Christian McCaffrey or some of the best running back, Bijan Robinson. If the guy's out of gas, you get him out for a break.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Most starting backs are like feed me, feed me, feed me. I don't know.
I think you're wrong on this particular.
But yeah, no, I mean like the scenario you just described, like most running, like Jonathan Taylor and all those guys are like, just give me the ball, give me the. Josh Jacobs carries it like 9 times in a row in Green Bay. But my point is, obviously, they've decided not to invest in wide receiver, and it's now killing them.
Yeah, I think they thought they could do this whole, they call it the everybody eats, right? And Stephon Diggs ended up being a colossal pain in the neck. And I think they saw what Kansas City did, getting rid of Tyreek Hill, and thought, our quarterback is so good, we can do this committee thing. But it turns out that a couple things went wrong. First of all, the guys aren't as good. They're not good enough. 2, Dalton Kincaid is out. And 3, Keon Coleman is out because this guy can't get to a meeting on time.
It's hard out there on these streets.
He's not mature enough to be a professional football player right now. That's a problem.
Yeah, and all that being said, like their offense is way better than their defense. I mean,
Defense wasn't the problem last night. Kept them in the game.
They're definitely a top 5 offense in the NFL, and they are not a top 5 defense.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, USC traveling to Autzen with upset on their mind. Can they pull it off, and how would that look? Plus, it's a massive game for Oregon because if they lose this game, you're going to see a lot of people poking holes in that resume. So we've got a major college game for you. So much to do. Later in this hour, we will talk with Zach Jackson, who covers the Cleveland Browns for The Athletic. Talk about what's been going on with Shedeur Sanders over this week, getting him ready for his first official start as Browns quarterback. It's Maggie Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. So, Maggie, you teased USC Oregon big game. USC, to me, is the most overrated team in college football, and I'll tell you why. Because they're 8-2 off the Big Ten schedule. If there are 4 of us here, if we grabbed 7 guys out there, we could go 3-7 in the Big Ten. What are we doing here? Why are people not punishing these Big Ten teams for? I don't know how they do it. They all every Big Ten game is ranked team against Purdue. Then every SEC team is playing we got number 7 whatever on the schedule. The Big Ten is such a joke. It's ridiculous. I don't know how all these teams keep having these easy games. Show me the USC game where you're oh, wow, they're so impressive. Just show it to me, please.
Well, they just beat Iowa. But
I was 6-4.
Okay, but I'm saying
I was barely bowl eligible.
But Iowa's a tough team. We gave Oregon credit for going to Iowa. Now, this one was at USC. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not going to come out and stand for USC. But what I'm telling you is that whether you think they're a good team or not, this is their opportunity. And Autzen is a really hard place to play. You go to Oregon and try to play there. Good luck to you. And USC has been terrible on the road. Their home road splits, especially their quarterback, Mayava, has not been good on the road. He's completing 50% of his passes on the road to 72% of his passes at home. But to me, if they somehow find a way, they're a 10-point underdog, but if they find a way, they crash the party. Because here's the other part, Pearl. Who's Oregon really played and beaten? Again, I'll give you that good win I think that's a good win against Iowa. They were in a dogfight. It's raining, terrible. They win 18-16 that game. But beyond it, Penn State at the time looked like an amazing win, but I don't think people look at it that way with Oregon, and that might not be fair. But they won that game in overtime, double overtime, 30-24. It looked like a great win, but then they turn around and lose by 10 at home to Indiana. And because of how Penn State fell apart, Oregon gets no credit basically for that Penn State win. No, I mean, listen, if USC beats Oregon and somehow they sneak into the field, I'd be shocked if a team like that could win a game. And because it's not USC, I know they're 8-2, but this is definitely not USC's year. They should have, by the way, probably should have won those losses. They should have beaten Illinois. That was a messy game. But I just don't understand the Big Ten. A friend called me the other day. They probably should have lost to Nebraska. If Dylan Raiola doesn't get hurt in that game, they probably lose. How is the bottom of the Big Ten
so bad? Why are there so many bad teams in here? I just don't understand it. And you say Iowa's a good team. I don't think Iowa would look very good in the SEC because obviously they're one-dimensional.
I think Iowa's a tricky team. I don't know how good they are, but I think it's tricky. Here's the thing, though, Pearl. You're going to complain about the Big Ten. Well, they're not getting a lot of teams into the college football playoff. They're going to get 3 teams in at the most. It's going to be Ohio State, Indiana, and it's going to be Oregon. Most likely, that's it. So it's not like they're getting gifted all these teams in. You can complain about it, and you'd be right, but they're also not really getting the benefit of the doubt.
Well, yeah, I don't totally understand why USC is 15 and Georgia Tech, for example, who's 9-1, is 16, and Texas, who's 7-3 and has beaten 2 top 10 teams, is 17. Like, that's not how I would do it. I would drop USC. Now, maybe I'm wrong about USC and they show up big time here, but we've watched that team. It doesn't feel like it's an it year to me.
This is why I had such a big problem with Alabama dropping as much as they did.
But who did Alabama drop below that gives you, like, what's
Oregon.
the
I don't understand
but
why
Alabama
they're
has
behind
2
Oregon.
losses. The committee was pretty loyal to the one-loss teams here for the most part.
I get it, but if we're talking about who's got the better wins, which is what you're talking about, then you have to say Alabama by far has the better wins than Oregon.
But Alabama dropping below Notre Dame and Oklahoma did not surprise me at all because Oklahoma just beat them. So you can't – like once in a while they do actually go to head-to-head, especially the week after the game happened. So – yeah, to me, the Alabama thing was not a big deal because Alabama beats Auburn and they're fine and whatever. They're in. 3 teams from the Big Ten. And the funny thing is that we don't know how good any of them are. We have no idea. We don't know how good Ohio State is.
I think you know that Indiana's good.
Good luck. I do not know that Indiana's good. I mean, show me the game where you know how
went to
Indiana,
Oregon and beat them by 10. I think
you know
that's
how
impressive.
Indiana matches up against Georgia and Alabama. I have no idea.
Well. Yeah, I don't know, but it'd be neutral field.
I mean, we just saw
if we finally get to that.
I mean, honestly, Penn State should have beaten them.
Yeah, it took an all-time throw and catch. That's
the thing. The way the scheduling is so uneven, I think it's very hard to predict how a team like Indiana and Ohio State, because Ohio State hasn't been tested, we really are not sure.
I'm curious how the Oregon fans feel about this, or the USC fans. You're welcome. Like, Oregon fans, I feel like, are always a little nervous.
This is not the team, right? Like last year they were a juggernaut. This year they came in at number 6 preseason. They were a little lower. No one knew who Dante Moore was going to be. He's great as it turns out. But I felt like they didn't come in with national title expectations. So when they climbed up the rankings, I'm not sure. I'd like to hear from Oregon too. I don't think the Ducks fans really had that much faith in this team. We'll see. Again, like these Big Ten teams are a total mystery to me.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Bogish is here. Thanks for the donuts. Deciding which one I want to go for today.
Are you actually going to eat one?
You got the assorted ones. I'm thinking about it.
Good.
It's Friday. What the hell?
You need a boost.
My team lost last night. I got to eat my feelings.
Headlines are sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with our easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. They're Costco guys. Of course, the Texans sacked Josh Allen 8 times on Thursday Night Football.
We bring the boom to everyone. We bring the boom.
Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter combining for 4.5 of those sacks, while safety Kalen Bullock picked off Josh Allen twice, forced a Khalil Shakir fumble in this 23-19 beatdown of the Bills in Houston. Here's Anderson postgame.
Early on in the season, like, we're getting a little frustrated with the sacks and everything like that. But, like, I'm like, man, it's starting to open up for us, man. We just got to keep hunting. And I think tonight was just a perfect example of everybody just hunting relentlessly, man, like doing whatever it takes.
It is now 3 straight wins for the Texans, 6-5 overall. They are a half game behind the Jags for the last wild card spot in the AFC. Now, no excuses for the Bills.
Do you want to explain to people why you played that?
I thought you were going to.
Well, give me a second.
Okay.
We got the Costco guys are coming into the studio in the next hour.
I'm excited. In a complete upset, Andrew Kaplan is ecstatic that this is happening.
I'm stunned. I didn't know that Cap knew the Costco guys. They're obviously a TikTok sensation. They've got 3 million followers.
5 booms.
On TikTok. They talk about Costco. It's a father and his son. The dad's a former professional wrestler, the independent circuit mostly, but is now going to be doing another run at AEW, another event.
Andrew Kaplan right now is in no pun intended, all caps in the chat right now.
And Pearl, you love them too.
Yeah, so the boom video is an all-timer. I've actually wondered, we're all family people here. Have you guys ever thought about doing a music video with your family?
No.
Because there are certain people who can execute this at a very high level.
Yeah.
So
You could. Your daughter's in
my
a musical
daughters
right
are amazing.
now.
They do incredible TikTok videos. And once in a while, they're like, Dad, get in here. And I'm like, no. But
Please do it. Just one.
I mean, there's about 50 of them out there, but I'm doing like one move. We Bring the Boom guy. I mean, that's a full music video, and it's awesome. Yeah, I think Bogues, I think you could do it. You got a
Your
fun little
daughter's
family.
musical. She's an Annie right now, right?
She is. I think orphan number 4. She is an Annie. Opening night is tonight. Can't wait to see Pam Gray at that.
Josie and the Pussycat. Something.
I'm just not going to lie. My mom did go to see Emma Perloff. So, first of all, Pam's booked. But also, Perloff sent us the link to the tickets.
Yeah. Also,
so
it happened to be
literally send me the link.
happened to be 5 minutes from Maggie's mom's
Yeah.
Should I send a
apartment.
car as well to Jersey to bring you all the way to Long Island? Would that be acceptable?
You got a
Jeez.
helicopter?
Jersey to Long Island is no
Nope.
fun.
On a
Not
Friday
doing it.
night?
Nope.
Dr. J, everybody. Boom, 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 boom.
We should just sing the whole show like it's a Broadway performance.
No, we're trying to keep listeners.
Oh, right. No excuses for the Bills, but they did come into this game last night banged up, then got more guys hurt during the loss, including Terrell Bernard to an elbow injury. Here's head coach Sean McDermott.
We got to stay in this thing, man. We grind, and we grind it out, and that's what you do. You compete, you sign up. This is what you do, no matter you have no injuries or you have the injuries that we have. The will that the guys have, I don't question that one bit.
Josh Allen probably should have gotten hurt on one of the 12 hits he took last night. I guess there was some shoulder pain at one point, but all things considered, he is okay coming out of this defeat. Aaron Rodgers back at Steeler practice yesterday with that broken left wrist in a brace, taking all his snaps out of shotgun. He has said that playing Sunday against the Bears is about safety, not pain tolerance. If only the Eagle offense played like Tyrese Maxey.
12 to shoot for the Sixers. Back out top, Justin Edwards. Down the lane he goes to Maxey. Corner 3 in the air. It's good. Maxey puts it in. 46 points for Maxey.
Tom McGinnis on Sixers radio. Maxey finishing with a career-high 56 in a 123-114 OT win in Milwaukee. Can he throw a football or catch one, Pearl? Do we know this?
I do not.
Can we
know.
transfer him to the Eagles for a weekend?
Oh, stop.
Okay.
No, you don't want A.J. Brown complaining about losing more targets now to Tyrese Maxey. Heaven forbid. We'd have to call an emergency press conference. Well, but also, for A.J. Brown, I saw him talking to the media yesterday. Just make him not available because he was being weird yesterday, too.
I know. Who did he throw under the bus yesterday?
Saquon. Yeah, he goes, if you think my numbers are down, so you must be also mad at Saquon, too. I'm like, geez, this guy's on a heater in all the wrong ways.
Sorry, I was busy. I'm trying to make sure I don't get the Costco guys and the Rizzler mixed up.
Well, they're
partners.
Collaborations.
Yeah, but right. The Rizzler, it says on here the Rizzler is 8 years old.
Not anymore.
Yeah, his Wikipedia page.
At one point he was.
No,
I think the Rizzler's 40, and he just is one of those people that looks really
now
young.
it says he's 9. He's got to be way older than that.
But you'll find out next hour. You can ask the guys.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. We got to make sure we get our viral families right.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump on social media.
Well, you know what? Obviously, with an 11-year-old son, I'm aware of all of these dads and sons and whatever. And there is a Costco guys video where they're making shout outs, taking requests, and they give a guy whose brother died 5 booms, which is means well, but that's a tough trick.
Okay.
To be honest, you can't give him one? A half?
R.I.P. Todd, 5 booms for you. Boom, boom.
No, it's like the salute that they give you.
It's a 5-boom salute. You're right.
5-boom salute.
It's a 21 gun salute.
21 gun salute. That's what I was thinking. You get wow.
Military honors.
I'm sure the family is so honored they got a 5-boom salute.
But they're not wrong in how good Costco food is. Can't recommend the Costco hot dog enough.
The Costco hot dog is elite.
I gotta tell you,
and it's like 3 cents.
I know.
If you go to the
That should
Industry
tell you
City
something.
one,
No, listen, Maggie, leave us alone, okay?
All right,
Seriously.
I'm going to back away from this conversation.
Enough.
I've already told you. I love that the Costco guys are coming in. I'm all excited to interview them. Tony Khan's going to be here later today. Obviously, one of the owners of the Jaguars and AEW. We've got a lot of fun that we're going to have today. Nick Costos. But
Yeah.
Costco, to me, is so overwhelming. It's hard for me to thrive in there.
Yeah, so grab yourself a hot dog and a drink for 75 cents. Enjoy the deal. Enjoy the delicious hot dog. Calm those nerves. Then walk around. Enjoy some free samples. Play with the lawn games they've got out in the aisles. It's a party.
No, but there is an issue though at Costco. It's like, ooh, this Nespresso machine is only $39.99. Maybe I should get this.
Yeah.
You can make some impulse purchases that you'd later regret.
You
at
definitely
Costco.
need 2 gallons of ketchup right now. Definitely.
Exactly. That's why I don't trust myself in Costco because, like, I'll look at the unit price. I'm like, well, I have to buy that. I'd be costing myself money if I did not buy this gigantic pallet of club soda.
I bought like a 6-pack of Jack Winnie's barbecue sauce. That's just still
A
in
6-pack.
I mean, it was like $10.
But now you're good.
I mean, in theory, yeah.
Now you're good.
Yeah, so when the asteroid is hurtling toward the earth, be like, thank God I got that barbecue sauce.
When
Still
I'm-
got 3 bottles left.
Yeah, when I'm grilling for like, a family reunion at some point, I guess I'll be straight.
That stuff's going to expire.
No, so now we're back to you and your food issues.
Yeah.
That is the one thing that freaks me out is when things don't expire for like ever.
Yes.
Like I need you to expire relatively quickly to make me think that that's like actual things in there. But when it's like, when I start seeing like 2027 on like containers now, like that can't be
Or
good for my body.
Pop-Tarts never expire. Although I was on the flip side, shocked the day I found out, on this show that mustard expires. I
Okay.
had no idea that mustard expired, and then I had to go through my fridge and throw everything out.
So,
You back?
Is this kid the Rizzler? No.
That's a
another-
lady.
What's that?
That is not the Rizzler.
That's not the Rizzler?
No, I believe that's the other Costco. That's the Costco kid. The
Big
Rizzler's the
Justice?
guy that
The
does.
guy who tells it how to pronounce.
Here, show it to me.
Yeah, no,
This
that's
guy.
not. No.
That's
Well,
not the Costco
No, that's
guy.
the Rizzler.
Glad we're working this out on air, by the way.
I know. That's the Rizzler. Guys, they're
No.
actually coming in an hour. Can
this
we
is the
figure out
Rizzler.
who is who?
Yeah, I got it.
The Rizzler, by the way, is the oldest 9-year-old kid I've ever seen.
I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on. It's like checking the birth certificates, like, when
him
guys
and,
play football.
Him and Danny Almonte definitely could be a bunch of
I'm watching a Good Morning
Little
America
League World
segment
Series.
on the hilarious 12-year-old who defends his grandmother making gnocchi. I pronounced it.
Gnocchi?
Gnocchi.
Wow.
You have to leave New York. Gnocchi.
Gnocchi, sorry. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
I should set these segments out.
Sheesh. I almost cursed on the air. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, we got a break. What's going on with Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland? How has the week gone before he makes, I guess, it's not his official debut. That happened last week.
First start.
First start. That's what we're calling it. First start. We're going to talk to Zach Jackson of The Athletic, boots on the ground in Cleveland in just a moment. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
So who is that kid?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Pearl, suddenly this Browns-Raiders game got a lot more exciting. You got two teams that have a combined 4 wins, but it's going to be one of the most watched games of the weekend. Why? Because Shedeur Sanders is making his first start. Let's welcome in Zach Jackson, who covers the Browns and the NFL for The Athletic. Also got the Zach Jackson and Friends podcast. Zach, thanks so much for the time. How are you?
You guys watch a lot of games between 2 and 8 teams?
Well, we're forced to in this line of work. But you know what? We're actually
Me too.
We're excited. You just cover the Browns.
You're
That's just
especially.
life.
You've seen a lot in your life, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
That's why I look so old, because I have seen a lot.
Yeah, you got a PhD in watching bad football. But, this is obviously very interesting because Shedeur gets his first start. So first, for the fans out there who were clamoring or upset, or all the backup quarterbacks we heard from through the week about Shedeur not having any first team reps before he gets thrown into the game at halftime against Baltimore. How much had that been an issue in the building, Zach? And is that something we're making a bigger deal of on the outside than in the inside?
I think it's been made a little bit bigger deal on the outside because everything Shador has. But look, Kevin Stefanski should have come out months ago or at least weeks ago and said Shador's a red shirt, Shador's development. Like, we like him here, but he's not anywhere near ready. Now, even if he'd said that, they made these trades and rushed him into this situation, right? But the whole messaging has been bad. The whole situation has been weird. And it was no surprise to really anyone that Joe Flacco won the job back in camp. But Shador was pretty impressive with his throws, and he had a really good one preseason game and a really awful third preseason game. But he never got any reps with the first team whatsoever, which when you're fourth in line and you're a fifth-round rookie, that's understandable. When you get to October and you're the backup, then you wonder why you couldn't get 3 practice snaps one day. So, look, that's out the window now because he's getting a week of practice and he's got to go do it. But for a guy that just about everything he does is talked about, I don't know that how much it really was blown out of proportion. The answer was he wasn't ready, and he's, today is his third full practice this week of trying to get ready to go out and put on a much better performance on Sunday.
So it seems like Shador has clear physical tools, obviously better physical tools than Dylan Gabriel. I think you don't have to be a scout to realize that.
Yeah.
So why is, for example, you mentioned that first preseason game. He was making great throws, he's moving around. Why is that not translating closer to being ready than what we saw last week, for example?
That's a good question. His bad habit of turning his back to the defense and trying to extend plays. I think, we're only allowed to watch the first 10 minutes of practice, right? And we're not even allowed to video throws to the receivers because of the extreme paranoia that this organization has. But I think the coaching point has to be just throw it in the third row, right? Like, if you take a sack, take it at 6 yards or throw it in the third row. Do not try to make magic happen, right? So he's a very accurate passer. He has enough arm talent. There's a lot to like about what he can do with the football, but every time he runs backwards and takes those sacks, it's bad. And in the preseason finale, I think he took 5 or 6 of them.
Zach Jackson's joining us, covers the Browns in the NFL for The Athletic, and Shador Sanders gets his first start against the Raiders on Sunday in Las Vegas. Zach, we can't tell on the outside how serious the Browns are about actually developing Shador Sanders. In my opinion, I think he's actually auditioning for other teams who may not love the college quarterbacks coming out next year and maybe want to bring him in to compete for the backup job or something like that. What do you think? Do the Browns really... Would they consider Shador as the quarterback of the future, considering they're going to have multiple first-round picks burning a hole in their pocket in 2026?
Important question, one without an answer, right? Who's going to be running the Browns next year? What are their realistic options? And frankly, Sunday's going to go a long way towards deciding if they're picking first, second, or third, or fifth, sixth, or seventh. And that could be, a big difference. Shador has the talent to play in this league. He's under contract for 3 more years. Dylan Gabriel, who has the talent to be the backup in this league, is under contract for 3 more years. Deshaun Watson is under contract for 1 more year. His cap number is $80 million. Those are the Browns' options. So that's 2 that you can already cross off, and then Shador, who's a maybe. So they should be invested in his development. I think they are invested in his development, regardless of how it got here. The plan stunk from the beginning. It never made sense. It's been changed a bunch of times. But he's got a chance at least this Sunday to put good tape out there, to show improvement, to go through this week and show that he's engaged and wants to be better. And like I said, I think even last week, I think there was a couple of times where you're like, okay, that looks like how it's supposed to look. So if he can do that more on Sunday and maybe get chances the rest of the way, I mean, this is not a threat, but this team has 7 games left, for better or worse, right? So how many he's going to start, what Stefanski's really thinking when Dylan Gabriel's cleared to play again, we don't know. But we know Shador has 4 quarters ahead of him on Sunday against the Raiders team. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better team to debut against in this league right now.
So you said the GM, we don't know who that's going to be. What about the head coach? Do you think Kevin Stefanski is safe right now?
I don't think anyone's safe. I think if you win 6 games in 2 years, you can't be safe. So I don't know for sure. And I don't speak for this organization, and this organization does things their own way. But in any normal organization, regardless of the circumstances, if you win 6 games in 2 years, your job is not safe.
Zach Jackson's joining us. He covers the Browns and the NFL for The Athletic. Why did the plan change so much? Like, it kind of feels like either there's a power struggle, a power vacuum. Obviously, the owner's a wild card, even though they pretend like he's not involved, although it seems like he clearly is. Like, why did the plan change so drastically at the most important position on the football field?
Well, you can't – this is not an answer that makes a lot of sense, but probably because Kenny Pickett had a 4-week injury in the summer, and it never really became a competition because they kept saying 4-man competition, but it was realistically Pickett versus Flacco and then the two rookies kind of versus each other, but just versus being a rookie QB. So Kenny got hurt on the 4th day of camp and was not allowed to participate in any of the preseason stuff, never had a full practice the rest of the way. They had an opportunity to trade him, and they traded him for a 5th-round pick. So did they ever like him that much? I don't know. Joe Flacco went through. Joe Flacco talked about not having enough reps, but understanding. Joe Flacco did this 1-year deal with the Browns because he wanted to prove he could still play at a high level. The Browns benched him after 4 games and traded him, and he went out and proved he can still play at a pretty high level. So they put in Dylan Gabriel, which they were always going to do. It was just supposed to be at this time of year. And you quickly saw from Dylan Gabriel that he's just not an NFL starting quality quarterback. So what will we see from Shedeur? I don't know. There's no middle ground answer with Shedeur. It probably is in the middle ground somewhere. But the plan really has never made sense, and it probably always pointed to next year, which is fine. But, why take on Flacco at 40 years old, and why draft 2 guys if you don't really love them and don't think they can make it, especially drafting 1 in the 3rd round when you have a roster that has so many holes going forward.
Okay, I don't know if you're a voter, but would you cast a vote for Defensive Player of the Year for a guy on a 3-14 team if that ends up happening?
Yeah, 2006 is the last time a guy with a losing record won the Defensive Player of the Year, but it's going to happen. I mean, he's going to crush.
He being Myles Garrett, by the way. We haven't said his name. So you think he's going to win this thing, even though the Browns are so bad?
I've watched every snap of Myles' career. I've watched every open practice of Myles' career. He has always been from a different planet, and he has ascended to a different one this year. He's just not a human being. What he's doing is phenomenal. And there was almost a 5th one last week where Lamar got away and made a great play. Nobody but Lamar would get away. Guys don't get away from this guy. His combination of speed, athleticism, raw size, just raw talent with the polish that he's put on through the years is amazing. And he is locked in like we haven't seen him before. So, I'm a public school kid, but he's averaging over 2 sacks a game right now. He's playing the Raiders, who are as bad as anybody on the offensive line. He still plays the Titans, right? He has 4 of his last 6 at home. And he wants the record, and I think he's going to not just break it, but smash it. And I think if he does that, he's going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. And so the Browns are going to be a 3 or 4 win team that has the Defensive Player of the Year and the Defensive Rookie of the Year in Carson Schlesinger. Hard to do, but this franchise does it.
And then they're going to fire everybody, obviously, because that's what you do. And this is the Browns. Zach, last one for me. We have about a minute left, and it's about Myles Garrett, even though I know Shedeur is obviously story 1, 2, and 3. Why is Myles Garrett on this team? It doesn't make any sense. To 3-14, we joke about it, but they could have traded him. They could have helped reset the franchise even further. And by the time they get their acts together on offense, Myles Garrett might not be smashing records at that point.
It's a great question. They probably should have ignited the rebuild that way, but they dug in. They said, we're not trading him. Here 10 months later, that looks right, but with these things lingering, but they just said they weren't trading him, and they told him that. And after he went on his public tour and everything else, they told him that again. He signed an outrageous contract. He committed to them. They committed to him, and he's going to play most of his career here in Cleveland because they can't trade him. It'd be $40 million in dead money, and they already have Watson on the books for $80 million next year. So things are going great.
Is he the new Joe Thomas in the sense Hall of Fame career, never win?
It's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but it's a fair way to say it for sure.
I'm wondering this, and again, we have about a minute left with Zach Jackson. If Shedeur wins on Sunday, that's going to be the best Cleveland football moment since
2 years ago when Joe Flacco came in and won 4 in a row, threw for 300 in all 4 games, and they got to the playoffs. Now they crashed when they got there, but Joe came off the couch. They had backup tackles. They just got hot in December, and it was Joe guiding the offense. But before that, we're going back to when Joe Thomas was playing.
Oh, God. Zach, well, listen, enjoy it this weekend. It's something fun. All eyes on the Browns yet again, and we'll see whether they rise to the occasion or not.
We will see. Thank you.
Thank you. Check out Zach Jackson, covers the Browns in the NFL for The Athletic. Also the Zach Jackson and Friends pod, Pearl the podcast. Check that out as well. I think you and I average like 6 Browns podcasts a day. We were consuming a lot of Cleveland content.
I've actually pulled away from the Cleveland thing. I stopped caring at a certain point because
you got to get back on now.
Nah, I can't. Like now that Shedeur, I don't think they're going to support him. Actually, after hearing Zach, I'm not feeling optimistic about Shedeur's chances here.
Is Deshaun Watson starting next year for the Browns, and we're just overthinking this whole thing?
Ooh, I don't know. Because he said $80 million. I do think they might have an out that will not really crush them. My Browns highlight. Remember when Josh Gordon had 200 yards? That game was amazing. That's my favorite Browns game.
Coming up next, CeeDee Lamb forced to defend himself after he missed curfew in Las Vegas. Do that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Higgins motions to the left. Mills with Woody Marks to his right in the gun. Second and goal at the 8. Here's the snap from Andrews. Davis looking. Davis passing to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Houston!
There's going to be interference.
And there's a flag down.
Offensive interference here.
Higgins with the catch. Is it going to be against the Texans?
Come on, guys.
5 seconds to go.
Pick the flag up. Pick it up.
There's a conference with the men in stripes at the 6-yard line.
Pass interference, defense number 39. That penalty's declined. Touchdown, Houston.
Higgins with the catch and score, and the Texans are back in front of Buffalo with 5 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Texans would go on to win the game 23-19. Thank you to Texans Radio for that highlight, and it was a defensive domination of the Buffalo Bills. Welcome to the show, Maggie. Great, Andrew Perloff and Pearl. This is tough for me, right? Because I'm in a terrible mood.
Yeah, of course.
My Bills lost last night. This is not the year. All my hopes and dreams are suddenly leaking out of the season. The Patriots are good again. This is my worst nightmare. Yet, I'm so excited because we have very fun guests in studio. So I'm going to try to pick my mood up a little bit. You know them as the Costco guys, Big Boom AJ and Big Justice, nearly 3 million TikTok followers. We love you guys, and you, Big Boom. Well, hi guys, how are you?
Hey, what's going on? Hello. We're here to bring the boom.
I love it. We've been waiting for this our whole lives, and there's already a smile on my face.
You have to understand, she's a hardcore Bills fan. You guys have to. This is a hard assignment. Like
they're a tough team to figure out this year, right?
Yeah.
I don't count them out yet.
I don't either. But she counted them out before this. She told me they were going to lose to the Texans. I'm like, they're not losing to the Texans. Texans don't have a quarterback, and then they lost.
I mean, they're a really tough team to figure out. We'll have to see what happens. Still a lot of football left.
Yeah, I know, and that feels like a threat. But here's the thing. So Big Boom AJ and Big Justice are here. So Big Boom AJ, you are a former professional wrestler, and you are going to be stepping back into the ring this weekend. AEW Full Gear. It's a pay-per-view event. November 22nd at the Prudential Center. You and QT Marshall are going to be taking on members of the Don Callis family. That's Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero. I think I've got this all right. So excited.
Well, so actually, this is our 1-year anniversary with AEW. So I was a professional wrestler about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I had about a 10-year run, stepped away for a while, and then last year at Full Gear, AEW Full Gear, I stepped back into the ring. So this will be my 4th match back with AEW. Big Justice has been there the whole time.
Yeah.
And we can't wait. Couldn't be more excited. So, yeah, tomorrow night is Full Gear at the Prudential Center. Tickets are still left at AEWTix.com. And, of course, everyone can catch it on TNT Network and then also streaming on HBO Max and pay-per-view.
Now, Big Justice, are you going to stand by the ring? Is there any chance you grab a chair and hit somebody, or what's the story?
I don't know about a chair, but there's no doubt I'm going to be cheering on my dad.
Oh, okay.
And I sense something here. Now,
no greater motivation than having your son in your corner.
This is amazing. And also really cool that you guys do all this fun TikTok content together and you get to spend all this time together. It's fantastic. I've got a couple questions. So first, we've got a million Costco questions because everyone in the world loves Costco. But first, I've got to know the independent wrestling circuit in New Jersey, which you did for 10 years, you said?
Yes.
I mean, what's like the weirdest crowd you ever wrestled against? Were you like at summer camps and like what's that like?
Oh, summer camps, garages, firehouses, you name it. But the real thing is, I mean, there is nothing like professional wrestling, Maggie, with connecting wrestlers to the audience. And I mean, I went to birthday parties, and just the one thing about professional wrestling, more so than anything, more so than football, baseball, basketball, the crowd really feels like they're part of the show. I mean, we like really become family. We like really connect. So, I mean, that's always been the greatest thing about pro wrestling to me.
And for Big Justice, were you watching your dad eat? Like, do you know about the tales from back then?
I know about the tales, but I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
Is there any video? Do you have VHS tapes?
Well, that's how this all happened because there's video out there. And so when everything happened with us on TikTok and we were getting all this attention and we were making people happy and meeting all new people, some of these videos popped up. And then the Clippers out there started throwing up clips of Big Boom AJ back in the day. And I was actually known as the American power child, Eric Justice.
That's my name.
And that's where he gets his
Justice.
name, Eric Justice
Yeah.
Bufumo. And then when those clips started getting out there, everyone was going wild. And they're like, AJ, when are you getting back in the ring? And next thing I know, AEW calls and they say, hey, we got this pay-per-view coming up in Chicago. Why don't you come out? Let's see how everyone reacts. And here we are.
I'm going to be honest. Like, it's not a stretch to think that you were a professional wrestler. Like, you still look yoked, all of that. I mean, it's got to be incredible. Are nerves now? Like, you've been doing this for a long time. Now you're getting in front of these huge crowds, not just Prudential Center. I mean, that's a big deal. But obviously, everyone watching around the world.
No, I don't let the nerves kick in. I think our minds are very, very powerful. Our minds are very, very powerful. And I really have a concept of if it doesn't make me happy, it's not productive, I don't have time for it. I don't have use for it. So I put nerves in that category. Yeah. So if you're ready to do something big, like we're ready to record, right, Big Justice, or we're ready to go out into the ring, I don't think the nerves are going to serve us well. So the nerves kick in. I'm like, no nerves today. Get out.
How about you, Big Justice? You must be nervous watching your dad. Also, I'm curious, your stadium experience, when you're at these things, how many people come up to you?
Oh my gosh, it's a lot of fans, but I love when people come up because it's kind of like I get to make people happy.
Yeah.
And like, if I didn't take a picture with them, I would feel so bad.
So everybody, you have to take every picture?
Of course, every picture.
Wow.
Everyone who asks for a picture gets a picture.
Well, that's very gracious of you. We got Big Boom AJ. We got Big Justice here in studio. You may know them as the Costco guys. Everyone's freaking out that you're here today. They love it. What do you think it is about your videos? You guys go to Costco. You're, sampling all the Costco food. You're seeing all the crazy things you can buy at Costco. Why do you think your videos connect?
Well, I think we do connect because I think there's the father-son relationship there. And I think on social media, it's all about relationships. So when they see the relationship that we have as a father and son, the relationship that we carry over with our audience, I think they really feel connected. And we make people happy. We spread positivity. Big Justice said a moment ago, when we're walking through an airport or when we come into the arena tomorrow night and people see us, it's great to see the faces light up. And, to give that energy and excitement back, that's what we're all about.
When the video came out, I actually, and this is a true story, I showed it to my kids. I have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old. And I said, can we do a family video like that? They said, Dad, you can't dance and you can't sing. We're not getting on camera for you. I mean, I give you credit because I can't keep up with my kids.
Yeah, we have a great time with it, and Big J's over there.
You can't keep up.
Amazing.
Yeah. Big Justice, you want to tell them what was happening on the ride home after we made the Costco guy video?
Oh, he was so mad because the audio was kind of like choppy. He said, so he was like, dang it, this video's never going to work. It's choppy. This was such a good video. We had so much fun doing it, but now the audio messed up. It got 100 million views.
100 million views. Amazing. The Costco guys are here.
No one noticed the bad audio.
No, we're living in a different time now. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just got to be authentic. Okay, so let's talk Costco a little because this is very relatable to everyone who's listening to us around the country. What's the weirdest thing you've ever bought at Costco or the most random thing?
Wow, weirdest and most random thing. So it's not really weird or random anymore, but the first time we saw a Wagyu steak in Costco, the first time we were like, whoa, Costco's got Wagyu now? I thought it was crazy to get Wagyu. Now Costco's got it right there.
It was kind of unique to see.
It was unique, and it's really good.
It's like fancy, very high quality.
Yeah.
You can also buy like diamond earrings now at Costco.
You could buy, I think.
Yeah, no.
What was we did a list once. What was the weirdest thing you could buy?
Well, a coffin.
That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah, you can buy a coffin at Costco.
Good deal.
Oh, I don't. I'm not ready to look into that yet. But,
the thing about that deal is you're never even going to know about
that's
it.
your last deal.
That's a shame.
Yeah. The most expensive item ever purchased at Costco was a $600,000 diamond ring.
$600,000 ring?
Yeah, that's the most expensive item ever purchased through Costco.
Yeah,
it's probably the size of this room.
Yeah, the person checked out at $600,000. Then they had paper towels and a case of club soda
and a chicken bake.
You know,
and a double chunk chocolate cookie.
I'm going to talk tough here. Have you guys ever been to the Industry City, Brooklyn Costco?
No, we should get there, though.
It is daunting. I got to tell you,
Really?
because the grocery stores are so expensive in Brooklyn
Right.
that the second it opens, the whole parking lot fills immediately. Hundreds and hundreds of people get in. There's a line about a half a mile long to get in, and then everyone storms in, and there's carts everywhere, and it's like the Indy 500.
It's just bedlam in there.
Bedlam.
Yeah.
Because it is, I read it's the most used Costco in the country.
Probably. Sounds like
and
it,
it's
yeah.
insane, and there's everybody in there. Do you guys ever get competitive at Costco, or do you have to be on your...
You gotta go on a Wednesday.
You got to go on Wednesday, right?
Wednesday at night. There's basically no one there. You got the whole Costco to yourself. Or I think they just added this with the executive membership. You get an hour before Costco opens to do your shopping. So you could go from 10 to 11. Right, Dad?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
go from 10 to 11.
I think it's 9 to 10.
Oh,
right?
9 to
yeah,
10.
something like that. Yeah. But yeah, you get that extra hour, so we could get in there and do what we have to do. Have some peace and quiet in there. Yeah.
Not get accosted, ask for photos all the time.
So Andrew, I'm guessing the last thing that they want at Brooklyn is us showing up shouting "boom" in the middle of all that.
Oh no, you have to. You just have to see
we gotta do it.
See it on a Saturday
You're gonna have
morning.
to meet us there.
That'd be a good
Yeah, I
video.
definitely will. I would love to. But generally, people run into each other with the carts too. I don't
Yeah.
know, like crazy.
Do any
Like if
fights
you don't have
break
your head
out?
on a swivel. Yeah, I've seen fights. I've
Really?
seen arguments. Yes.
Just throw a pack of Pop-Tarts at somebody? What do you do?
What did they get?
I know Jersey's tough.
They
I know
got
Jersey's
the last roll of toilet paper. What happened?
Okay, so we have Big Boom AJ. We got Big Justice here, father-son duo. They do amazing stuff on TikTok and social media where they do these fun Costco videos. And Big Boom AJ is a professional wrestler, was on the independent circuit forever, and now amazing. You get the second sort of opportunity here with AEW. It's the pay-per-view event. Full gear tomorrow, Prudential Center. Tickets are still available, and you can watch if you'd like to. So we're obviously a sports show. You know, if you could run into any famous athlete at a Costco, who do you want to?
I can answer this in 1 second.
Who is it?
Aaron Judge. I would want to meet
Yeah.
Aaron. I would
Big number
meet Aaron
99.
Judge anywhere. If he says I'm gonna be in Spain, I'm flying to Spain. He's my favorite player ever. I would love to meet Aaron.
And you haven't met? Well, what famous athletes have you met?
I've met Brunson. Why did I say it like I met Brunson.
It's that Spanish. You know,
I met Garrett Cole and Anthony Rizzo in Chicago.
Awesome.
At the Cubs game. That was cool. Who else?
We met
have we
Tua Tagovailoa
I
at
met
the
Wayne
Zach Ryan concert.
Oh, yeah,
we met
Tua,
Gretzky down at the Panthers game.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Heavy
Yeah.
hitters. Well, see, the thing about Aaron Judge is he should shop at Costco because that guy must eat so much.
Yeah, you should go get the Wagyu steak. Yeah.
Maybe sit in one of those saunas you can buy at Costco, I think, for like $4,000. So the other part is AEW, famously owned by Tony Khan, who's going to be in here later today. Tony's been on the show.
What a guy.
a
What a
dozen
guy Tony
times.
Khan is.
Tony's
Couldn't ask for a
fantastic.
better guy.
He's my favorite.
Sports owner.
Yeah.
If you were going to get something for the Jacksonville Jaguars at Costco, like what do you do for
Where
them?
we going?
I mean, the Wagyu beef for sure.
Yeah, right. We got to load him up with some Wagyu steak, right? We got to get him some potatoes, right?
They're in
Carve him
Florida.
up for
It's
some
a little
energy.
bit hot over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
What if we got him some like pool noodles and we can have a big pool party?
Oh,
and,
I
like,
love it. I love it.
Do they sell wide receivers who can actually catch at
Oh,
Costco?
don't say it.
I would say that to Tony. I'll say that to you guys.
BTJ,
Yeah,
he's
he
great.
didn't say that with Tony
He's
in the room.
injured, but he's injured, but he's good.
I mean, they have had some drops this year, just to be
I gotta
fair.
tell you, something about Tony. I don't know how he does it. I mean,
we wondered the same thing.
AEW to England for the soccer team, back to Jacksonville for the Jaguars. I mean, he does not stop.
His energy is insane.
Off the charts.
I mean, you guys
Off
have
the
big
charts.
energy. I hate to say it. I think he has more.
I mean, being second to Tony Khan is not such a bad thing.
You'll take it. Okay, so, last one is we're kind of wrapping this up here, and we appreciate you guys coming in. We know you're going over WFAN in just a moment, but I mean, what does this mean to you to be getting back into the ring tomorrow night? Like, I imagine that you really did. If you were doing the independent circuit in New Jersey, AJ, you love this. Like, what does it mean to you to get in front of this huge crowd with your son?
I always knew in my heart I would be wrestling again. I've been asked so many times, 20 years later, did you ever think you were going to be in the ring again? And in my heart, I did. In my heart, I did because I just love pro wrestling so much. Growing up here in the Northeast, I was always at matches at Madison Square Garden, the Meadowlands, even the Philadelphia Spectrum. I just loved. Yeah, there, Andrew, the Philadelphia
I was at the
guy.
Spectrum every week with my Roddy Piper T-shirt for years.
Your Roddy Piper T-shirt
every month. Yeah, nobody knows the Spectrum. It's the old arena in Philly. Madison Square Garden and the Spectrum back and forth every month. Amazing.
It was really cool to see the differences between every arena. That's the one thing I always loved, the different cultures between the different arenas.
Who was your guy growing up, like back in the day?
You know what? I would say, I mean, you had to love Hulk. Hulk just, he just changed the world.
Yeah.
Hulk just changed the world. And then I love the Road Warriors too. I just love that. And I think a lot of what I do is modeled after the Road Warrior style. So I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, today on the AEW roster. So imagine this, Maggie. Imagine this, Andrew. I was kind of out of wrestling for about 15, 20 years, right? And now we come back to AEW in Chicago. And I see Will Ospreay. And I mean, have you guys ever watched Will Ospreay wrestle?
It's crazy stuff.
It is just out of this world stuff he can do. I see Swerve Strickland with these kicks. And
Bryan
I mean,
Danielson.
the business, of course. I mean, the business has just totally evolved when we got back there. And we're sitting in the front row and our jaws are dropping. And then next thing you know, AEW says, hey, are you ready to step back in the ring? I'm like, with these guys?
Double backflip off the top rope. It's very different.
But no, it's been amazing. And I mean, just coming out from behind the screen, that is just the greatest feeling ever. And you hear your music, you step out, you feel the energy, you feel the excitement, you just take a look, you take it all in, and there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, they call it a pop, right? In the
It's a
industry,
pop. It's
and
the
that's
pop.
what you get the
That's
pop.
right.
So, Big Justice, is this your future? Do you want to be a professional wrestler?
I'm thinking about it. I just love your story so much. It's so cool.
Well, you got to shave a mohawk in there like the Road Warriors. Like
that's what we're going to do. We're going to do
old
the face paint.
school.
Imagine
These
how many
kids, they have
millions
no
of views
idea.
that would get.
I think I would wrestle. I mean, when I'm older, if I start practicing and I get good at it, because I only want to do something if I'm good at it. I don't want to do something half. I want to be good at it so I could put on a show, basically.
You guys got something. You really do.
Well, the cool
You got
thing about
something
Big
connected.
Justice is, and anything Big Justice puts his mind to, he could do.
Yeah.
We just won our Little League championship last Saturday. Big Justice led the league in home runs. He pitched lights out. He was a lights out catcher. So, I mean, whatever Big Justice wants to do, I'm going to support. I'm going to be happy for him. But I think if Big Justice wants to be a pro wrestler one day, he's going to be one of the best in the world.
Wow. All right. Well, we're going to keep an eye. How could we not? We can't keep our eyes off you guys. You're on social media feeds all over, and you just bring smiles to everyone's faces. So good luck to you, Big Boom AJ, Big Justice. Have fun tomorrow night with the big AEW pay-per-view event.
Hey, before we go, can we do 5 big booms?
Let's do it. Ready?
Big Justice.
5 big booms!
Boom, 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 boom.
And we also brought you guys a gift.
Oh, you didn't have to. No.
A signed card that Panini gave.
Oh, thank you so much.
There you go. There you go.
You guys, keep doing it. Have fun. And thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Okay,
Let's
so
go
we said
AEW.
next hour we're gonna have Tony Khan's gonna be here in studio, and top of the hour our pal Nick Costos, who joins us every Friday for You Better You Bet. He will help us win some money. In the meantime, let's do it.
Yeah, we got change the topic a little bit to football this weekend. Best place to enjoy all the games is Prize Picks, of course. And not only football, you got hockey, basketball, all sorts of things. Prize Picks is the best. So simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you could win big. You could keep the season rolling right now by getting $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Maggie, I definitely want to hear your plan for the weekend.
Okay, here's what I got for tonight. Now, Benedict Mathurin, I've told you, Indiana Pacers, they're having a terrible season, but I think they're going to try to shop Mathurin at the deadline. So what do they need him to do? Score lots of points, look really good. 21.5 points, I'm going to go more than. And then I'm looking at Chris Letang. I love it when hockey players seem like they've been around for about 20 years. 1.5 shots on goal. Pittsburgh Penguins defender, book it more than. And that's my Friday night, everybody. If you want to play along with us on Prize Picks, go ahead. It's super fun. All you have to do is download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code MNP. You get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks. You get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. So win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. So we're playing the Cowboy Quickie music because the Cowboys didn't cost them on the field, but had a big controversy. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens sat out the first series last week against the Raiders, and we found out why, Maggie.
Yeah, it turns out they missed curfew. Shocker. Somebody in Las Vegas was out past 10 p.m. Pacific time. That was the curfew before the Monday Night Football game against the Raiders. So obviously the Cowboys won 33-16. Pickens was amazing, 144 yards. Lamb, 66 yards. They both scored touchdowns. But the duo apparently had dinner and drinks at the Red Rock Casino Resort and Spa in Las Vegas before they went back to the Durango Resort, which is about 20 minutes down the road. But there had been a rumor on social media, Pearl, that CeeDee Lamb was caught throwing up.
Yeah.
Because he was intoxicated. He told the media yesterday, I know how to hold my liquor.
Yeah,
So
it's funny. He didn't seem to mind that he missed a series of the game. He's like, don't you dare say that I can't drink with the big boys.
yeah, it was
damn act together.
He was more offended by the idea that someone thinks that he'd be puking from drinking than the fact that he actually got benched for a series in a professional football game.
I definitely think this is a good sign for Dallas because the greatest Dallas teams ever under Jerry Jones party like crazy. So this might be maybe a real throwback to the 90s now that the offense is good. Let's go. This is exciting.
Yeah, unfortunately, those 90s teams, I think, were on something a little harder than booze. But still, there you go. We got it cleared up. Although you didn't have to be Einstein to figure out what had happened. That's your Cowboy Quickie. Given a lot of credit, actually, to Brian Schottenheimer, who does not, outside of a couple moments this season, like they get blown out against Carolina or something like that. It doesn't seem like the job is too big for Brian Schottenheimer at all. And now they're dealing with obviously this tragic, the death of Marshawn Nealon, and that throws a whole other kind of thing into how a coach needs to handle his team and make sure everyone's okay and make sure everyone's talking to people if they need to, therapists and stuff like that. Anyway, I kind of like this from Shotty. I know it's
like what the
benching.
Yeah.
Benching him for a series. Now, I know it's not meaningful, like, as far as, is it really sending a message? But, a little. And I don't know if he would have done it if it was your Philadelphia Eagles coming to town. I know they were favorites against the Raiders, and they probably thought they had that one in the bag. So maybe this was the perfect time to send a message. But you know what? It maybe shows that he's not going to be a total pushover.
Yeah, no, I agree with that point. I mean, this is a very, very interesting team all of a sudden. Because of the trade for Quentin Williams. They're going against a beat-up Eagles offensive line. I think on paper, I don't totally understand why the Cowboys are underdogs. I feel like they have no excuse not to be good now. Really? I mean, like, what unit were...
The Eagles' defense, outside of the Texans' defensive line, might be the best unit in football.
Yeah, I think in Dallas, though, that's the thing that's... Dak Prescott has had so much success against the Eagles. I just don't really see that defense doing the same thing that they just did to Jared Goff on a windy night at the Link or to Jordan Love. Feels like the Eagles' offense is stuck in molasses right now, and maybe I'm buying too much into the Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark combo. Kind of feels like the Dallas Cowboys are built to play that Eagles team right now.
Well, here we go! I'm going to be honest, even though Saquon Barkley is having a down year, he's still going to be better than whatever Ashton Genty was doing as far as, I think that Dallas, they looked especially good against the Raiders.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't think that they're going to look as awesome against Saquon Barkley.
Right, but you got to remember the Eagles center is hurt. He's playing. He's going to try and play. And they don't have Lane Johnson. I looked up the number 15 and 23 when Lane Johnson doesn't play. It's just kind of setting up perfectly for the Cowboys. Dak has no problem with the Eagles. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really interesting game. If the Cowboys win, they're 5-5-1, and then the conversation gets bigger. So they're a different team. Well, you at least give me this. The Cowboys are a different team than they were early in the season. Not only the defensive additions, they've really figured out how to integrate George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. And Javonte Williams has been great, their running back. That's the other thing. They can control the game with running. I think they have no excuse not to be a good team right now. They should be the same team that was 12-5 3 years ago. The bones are there for a solid team. Not saying even if they miraculously got the playoffs, they'd win, but I think they have a shot.
Let's get to Andrew Bogish, who's got the latest headlines. Did you get a photo with the Costco guys?
I didn't.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I probably should have. Jake would appreciate that.
They're still here.
They are. I just sent them to our NBA Jam video game, so I'm making inroads with them.
If you got the donuts out there. If you missed our interview with the Costco guys from social media, Big Boom, AJ, and Big Justice, you can always catch the Maggie Perloff podcast. It's a big deal. We have MVPs and all-stars, and we're kind of lucky in this business. We get fun people walking around, and nobody has been more excited for the Costco guys.
I mean, once you get Cap, I mean, that's the top. You know you've made it if you've excited Andrew Kaplan with your appearance here.
It's just a funny place to occupy where people just walk in and immediately you make them happy. Like I said, these Costco guys walking in, the father and son, I didn't really know them until we started doing research and we knew they were coming to the show. It's like when the Philly fanatic walks in. It's like, hey.
Yeah.
It's just all of a sudden you have a smile on your face.
I mean, Philly Fanatic's a big controversy. The pelvic thrust might not work in a corporate area.
Big Justice is a kid, so I don't think he's going to be doing too much public thrusting.
I got to be honest, that has always thrown me off. Why isn't the dad Big Justice?
It throws me off, too.
Doesn't make sense.
Honest.
But
I think it's one of those things where, like, if you're tiny, you're always big, and if you're big, you're little. So he's a kid, so that's why he's big, you know? Tiny's always a big guy.
You know
no,
what?
the
though?
ironic
he
thing-
kind of
it-
fills the role. Like
He's a big dude.
No, but he acts like a big guy too.
Yes.
And we saw a video in the break of him hitting a home run. Like, guy's a baller.
All right, Bugs, you want to do this headlines and then you can go get your photo.
Thank you. Headlines are sponsored by Skechers. Watch the Skechers World Champions Cup this December 4th, 5th, and 7th on ESPN and ABC. Despite all the sacks and giveaways and injuries, the Bills still had a chance to steal the W last night in Houston.
Here's the snap. Four-man rush. Allen throws it over the middle. It's complete to Palmer. Hook and ladder. And they're going to get the first down. Up the sideline is Shakir. And he's out of bounds at the 26-yard line. The hook and ladder, baby.
You called it.
46 yards.
Holy smokes. Give the Bills life.
Have you guys ever done a poll question on this? Like, it is technically hook and lateral, right? And it just kind of morphed into hook and ladder. Like, the play is you run a hook, you catch, and you lateral the ball to run. It's one of those
I've always
things.
called it the hook and ladder.
I know,
You're right.
and I think everyone does, but
How did it
ladder
happen?
makes no sense.
What's the etymology of hook and ladder?
Exactly. Use it in a sentence.
Wasn't there a very famous? I feel like the Miami Dolphins came up with this in the 80s. But
Oh, really? Is this a Dolphins play? I didn't know that.
I have no idea. Actually, I don't know. But I remember they had one big one. It never works, and it worked crazy well last night.
Well, Boise
Yeah,
State.
then what happened?
The one time it did work
Yeah,
was
it
Boise
was
State.
Boise State. That's the most famous one. Yeah. They've got to play for 4th and 27.
Yes.
But how about 4th and 6?
Or the plays after 4th and 27, 2 incompletions, a run, and then Josh Allen picked off for a second time to lose on Thursday Night Football, 23-19. Head coach D'Amico Ryans on surviving that hook and lateral.
Josh has done that several times this year, actually. So, again, kid's a good player. They made a play on us, but the thing about it is our guys, we don't waver.
In all, Ryan's defense had 8 sacks and 3 takeaways, only allowing 12 points to the Bills' offense. It's 3 straight wins for Houston, inching closer to a wild card spot. The Bills, meanwhile, falling a little farther behind the Patriots, who are now 2 games better in the loss column. Now, before Thursday Night Football, it was reported that the Texans will not get Joe Mixon back this season. The veteran running back hasn't done anything since the end of last season because of a foot issue. It appears, Pearl, that the Spurs do not need Wemby.
Fox in the paint. Fox puts it up with the right hand, puts it in. Count the basket and a foul. Another and one for De'Aaron, his 3rd one of the night.
De'Aaron Fox with 26 points. Keldon Johnson scored 25 in a 135-125 decision over the Hawks. So now San Antonio has won 3 in a row without the injured Wemby.
I told you.
Is this
That
the
is
old
shocking,
addition
though.
by subtraction? Is that what you're trying to posit here? I doubt it.
He's just too tall. He'll never work out. But you know what's funny? It's one of those things where the team's going to get more reps and more practice. They'll be even better when Wemby comes back. Are we talking, is this a contender?
They're 11-4, and the Hawks don't have Trae Young, and they're not great to begin with. But it's not even just Wemby. It's no Castle, no Dylan Harper.
Yeah, so maybe these guys, well, first of all, did you guys notice nobody in the NBA played at all last night? Not a single person. Everybody's out.
Well, and also, since Thursday is no longer a TNT night, Thursday nights are weirder matchups. There used to be a couple of marquee games. Now it's just get me to the weekend.
Also, it's the NBA, so no one plays.
There's also that.
It's annoying. But if you're asking who in the Western Conference, you really think that the Spurs have a chance here as opposed to the Nuggets who we're going to hear from. And the Thunder obviously are far and away got to be, favorites to go back-to-back. Warriors, Lakers.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Thunder
say
are
the
the
Rockets?
only real problem there. Wen Busjama. I mean, the T-Wolves got a young T-Wolves team. We've seen young teams come out in the West and come close. By the way, I have the hook and ladder information.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, so it was the famous 1981 playoff game with the Chargers and Dolphins, where Kellen Winslow getting carried off the field.
Yep.
The Dolphins hit one to Tony Nathan. It's called the 87 circle curl lateral play. They called it the hook and lateral.
They did.
But the NFL.com clarifies everyone else calls it the hook and ladder. And I don't know why.
Right.
Because of, hooks and ladders, I guess.
What does that mean?
That has to be
like a fire thing, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I assume that's kind of, it's like a play on shoots and ladders too, I assume. That's what I always thought.
Oh, yeah.
Like the board game shoots and
Yeah,
ladders.
But it's definitely called according to NFL.com, it's called the hook and ladder.
Well, also, it's on the whole shovel pass versus shuffle pass.
Yeah.
For a
that
while,
one.
it became shuffle pass, and everybody's like, it's not a shuffle pass. It's a
I
shuffle
missed that
pass.
one.
Oh, that was 2 years of my life debating that.
Really?
That's what that was.
Happy I
Mahomes.
missed that.
That's a Mahomes play, right? When he was doing that.
Peyton Manning used to do that a lot. That was a whole Peyton Manning thing, too. When I remember as a kid, that was always, because the Colts used to always run shovel passes, and especially because Peyton's accent is kind of sometimes sounds like shuffle pass.
And it just inflates their throwing stats, even though they basically,
No.
like Tom Brady started doing this at the end, too.
And now we got these jet sweeps where they do this pop pass.
Yep.
Those got to be, just change those to rushes. We know those are not passes. I hate that those go into the thing as passing stats. That's what you get with Patrick Mahomes. You had Tyreek Hill running a 4-2 coming around the edge, and he's getting 60 yards. Come on, man. You've had enough. You're already Patrick Mahomes. You don't need to get your stats padded by 2-inch passes.
I totally agree.
More record book editing last night from Alex Ovechkin.
Here come the Habs and a shot here on Lindgren and a save as Caulfield got it away. Ovechkin's going to turn. He fires. He got it. It's a hat trick. Oh, my. Alex Ovechkin finishes off a hat trick here in Montreal.
John Walton on Caps Radio. Ovechkin with 3 goals and an assist in this 8-4 win in Montreal. The all-time leading goal scorer, now passing Joe Sakic for number 10 on the all-time points list. Guys, back to you.
But if a hockey player didn't get assaulted by a canine dog on the ice, then I don't know if I want to hear about it.
Especially if it wasn't in Russia.
We got the call in Russian. That's what Bogusch gave us.
I assume
last
we did.
Hour.
I don't know. Somebody put it in the system as if they know Russian enough to edit it. So that could have been anything.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
With the guys we got here, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
It was off the video of the incident. I just don't know. And this goes back to when I was at Sirius and we used to cut up the non-English Super Bowl highlights.
Yeah.
And people would just start it and then end it as if they knew Italian or Turkish or German, as if they knew it said 4th and 1 from the 6 and touchdown Saints. How do we know what we're doing here?
Well, this is why we generally only play the Spanish highlights, and we have Manny usually here.
Yes.
Scarpacci's here today.
But Manny could be making stuff up too. We have no idea.
Well, if you
definitely
guys
made up all those capitals he thought he knew.
Oh yeah, Manny doesn't know any of that. He was winging it. But the other thing is, if you guys had taken the training sessions that we are mandated to take, if you play a curse word in another language, we still get in trouble for it.
Yeah. Do you know why you know that? Because you had to take the video because you tried to spell a curse word. We already know the rules.
Bilotti dumped that. The world would not have known.
And that was punishment for you. We're good.
You know what's funny about that? So I almost spelled a slang term for part of a woman's anatomy, thinking I could get away with that as a way.
B-O-O-B?
Yeah, it was weird. I spelled B-O-O-B. Anyway, I spelled a slang term for that, and Bilotti dumped it. And I was like, I remember it was Spike, I think, was still here. And I go, yeah, I thought I could spell it. And he looked at me like, are you the dumbest fool alive? I had to plead ignorance. I wasn't sure.
I feel like we could say anything right now, and I don't think the FCC is listening to us right now.
I'm not an idiot.
I've got a reminder for one of those HR videos, burning a hole in my inbox. I get one every 4 days, and I'm not doing it. I'm going to die on this hill. I don't need it. I'm not doing it. It doesn't apply to me. I'm not
About
doing it.
80% of it is payola scams from 1982.
Right.
If you play Shaka Khan 3 times without and get a gift from the record company, I don't think this applies to me.
It's so true. They need more current examples. That was my own social media. I can curse as much as I'd like on that one. Okay, coming up next. Thank you, folks. Top of the hour, Nick Costos will join us from You Better You Bet. Let's win some money. 9:20 a.m. Eastern time. Tony Khan will join us. We'll talk a little Jags football. We'll get updated on everything that's going on with Travis Hunter and the like. Coming up next, we have a former MVP calling out a current MVP candidate. Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey.
Yes, Big Friendly. I love your poems and would love to go on a date with you.
Well, man, he strolls in with a grin on his face, Yankee pinstripes all over the place. But his chest is out like he's on the beach. Moist pork yells, button up, you creep.
Trouble Sam took the mic in sequence and shame. Said I'll win this contest, you'll remember my name. But the teleprompter froze, he pulled out a cheat sheet. Lip sync and turn back time with 2 left feet. Oh, the crowd they booed, the DJ cried. Even Cher herself would have run to hide. If he could cheat in karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen.
Well, Drop Sam's got the flag in his hand, streaming Maggie and Perloff across this land. He's cracking a cold one before the sun, saying Columbus Day's the holiday when the party's just begun. So raise a glass to the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Drop Sam shouts out with a loud hallelujah. He's singing along with that YouTube stream, and Maggie and Perloff are living the dream. But old Peter Bellotti, he ain't in sight. skipped out on work. Every holiday day he called out again like don't count on me. Maggie's laughing, Perloff shaking his head. Sam's got 3 flags stuck out on the shed. Fireworks cracking on a Monday night, celebrating Columbus by neon light. So pour one out for the land of the free. Drunkle Sam's the king of holiday TV. He's dancing around to that WFAN jam with Maggie Perloff in his red, white, blue can. Somewhere Belotti's still fast asleep. Columbus Day secrets that he'll never keep.
But with Drake May, Pearl, because Cam Newton kind of pointed out that, listen, the Patriots haven't really beaten anybody except for the Bills. But it turns out a lot of teams can beat the Bills. The Falcons beat the Bills. The Miami Dolphins beat the Bills. Last night, the Houston Texans with Davis Mills beat the Bills. So, okay. So first, let's hear from Drake May kind of talking about Cam Newton's critique.
Oh, no, I don't even know what show he's on. I think they get paid to make remarks and, make certain comments. So, just worried about what people in our organization think and worried about what we think and my teammates think. And, everybody's going to have different opinions. So we just got to go out there on Sunday and worry about ourselves.
Okay, so Cam Newton had called the Patriots fool's gold, and he was asked about, Drake May was asked about it on WEEI, and that was him being like, I don't even know what show he's on, and basically just giving the stock quarterback answer. We're just, worried about the people in our building. So Cam Newton, of course, is actually on the show First Take. Stephen A. Smith, he responded.
It was a question that was asked. Does the AFC now go through the Patriots or New England? I said fool's gold. Why did I say fool's gold? Because there's not a soul in this beautiful gymnasium that will say they will take Drake May over a wild card winner in Patrick Mahomes, in Lamar Jackson. Drake May, respectfully, you're having a great season. But I also put Drake May in a position where it's like, we don't really know.
So that was Cam Newton in front of a big crowd and kind of hyping everybody up. Is Cam Newton right about this? Would you still believe in the Ravens or the Chiefs
heck yeah.
going into Foxborough and beating the Patriots now?
Absolutely. Well, the Ravens, I don't know. The Chiefs, 100%. The Ravens, a little less so, depending on the weather. Because Lamar's numbers dip when it goes below 50 degrees. So, but the Chiefs, I would pick 100 times out of 100. That being said, by the way, one more thing. I don't think a lot of people know what shows Cam Newton's on because ESPN rotates their talking heads through so many different shows. So that was no slight.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you said he's on First Take, so is he permanent on First Take?
I don't think so. I think he's like a guest on First Take. Actually, EJ, you had a good tweet about this. You said if my quarterback knew who the cast of First Take, you would tell him to turn their playbook in and cut them.
Come on. It'd be a rapper.
Is he on the cast of? Anyway, that's not the point. I think what Cam Newton, and you could hear it at Cam Newton's voice. He's like, I'm saying something that is pretty obvious to most football fans.
Yeah, I guess. And listen, I've been right there with the who have the Patriots played, and they're kind of being propped up because they have this really, really easy schedule. But there's also part of me that feels like the Patriots are just doing that thing that the Bengals did, or maybe doing that things that the Chiefs did, where they got there a year earlier than anyone thought they were going to get there. I guess the Chiefs was more like the AFC Championship game, and then they got to the Super Bowl. But like the Patriots could definitely make it to the AFC Championship game this year. I 100% believe that because I do think that Drake May is good, and I do think that Mike Vrabel knows what he's doing. He's not an amazing playoff coach. I get that. I think he actually has a below 500 record in the playoffs slightly. It's like 4-5 or 5-4. He's right there. And he doesn't have Derrick Henry anymore. But you know what? It's a balanced team, Pearl. It is. And if they get home field for any of these games, it's going to be a big advantage to probably every team, maybe except for the Chiefs, because they always get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more with Cam.
2-3, thank you. Mike Vrabel.
I think I would take the Chiefs or the Ravens over the Patriots. So I guess it depends on, do the Patriots get the number 1 seed or will it be somebody else? If they're the wild card round, they should probably get an easy matchup in the first round. They win that game. But I think the divisional round in the AFC is going to be tricky. I'm totally down with Cam. And I think Drake May is awesome. He's really good when he runs. He does not lose his balance, and he's really accurate on the run. I don't see it. I didn't see Joe Burrow doing that either, and the Bengals were 10-7 that year, ironically. But that being said, that was a surprising year. I don't know, something about this Patriots team. I'm not sure that they've been consistently good enough as a running team to beat a team like the Chiefs and the Ravens. Like Trayvon Henderson's taken off lately, and their defense hasn't really been tested. I don't see it. I'm totally with Cam. I don't think Cam was that mean. I don't think he was saying you're a bad quarterback or anything like that.
No, he wasn't saying Drake May is fool's gold. He was saying the Patriots would be fool's gold as if they were like the favorites to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they remind me a little bit of the Colts teams that used to just ease their way into the playoffs and then everyone's like, oh, how did they lose that first matchup? Because they haven't played anyone except the Jags and the Texans, who are expansion teams. And it kind of reminds me of your Bills, too. Won 5 divisional titles in a row, and it didn't always mean the same thing.
No, I'll grant you that, but they do have that outdoor stadium. It is a true home field advantage. I don't know. I think the Patriots, like, again, you can poke holes in the resume, and they've gotten a little bit lucky in some of these games, but if they were going to be in the AFC Championship game, I would not be shocked by that at all. I think that they actually have what it takes, and we'll see what happens with the Colts. They have a much harder schedule down the stretch. They could fall out of that number 1 spot. Denver still has to go to Kansas City. They might fall out of that number 1 spot, and meanwhile, New England is here sitting pretty. So, and they're going to play the Bengals this week, and Joe Burrow is looking like he's going to play. But what's Joe Burrow going to look like with the first game off of the turf toe surgery? And the Bengals defense still sucks.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, just get to the AFC title game. That might mean just win one playoff game. Do you take them seriously as a Super Bowl threat?
If you get to the AFC Championship game, I think that you have to be considered a Super Bowl threat.
Yeah, I don't see them as a Super Bowl threat, like a championship winner. If I was going to put a little money on a future, I would not pick the Patriots. I just don't see them, I don't know, on both sides of the ball having the guys to do that. I honestly think Cam is closer to right than what you're saying.
But here's the thing. I know you because I've been sitting next to you talking about this for many weeks in a row. I don't think you have an AFC bet that's not the Chiefs. Like you,
the
you
Chiefs
just think they're
the
sleeping giant, and I don't think you trust anyone else in the AFC.
I would trust the Chiefs and the Ravens more than I trust the Patriots.
But you
and
don't
the
trust the Ravens because you just said Lamar doesn't play well under 50-degree weather, and most likely they're going to have to play an outdoor game.
A lot could happen. If the Chiefs miss the playoff field, then it's wide open. I think your Bills are super dangerous. I think the Ravens are super dangerous. I actually think the Broncos might be more dangerous than the Patriots because they have that elite defense. The Colts, I am not buying at all, but who knows? Maybe. I honestly, I would put Patriots 4th or 5th in the AFC. And if they have the number 1 seed and they're the 4th or 5th in odds, that's the definition of fool's gold. I mean, that they're overrated because of their schedule.
Yeah, sure. I don't know how you watched last night with the Buffalo Bills and think this is a team that's somehow going to find it.
Yeah, because it's the playoffs and Josh Allen will run like crazy.
He was trying to run last night. He was getting sacked.
That was the Texans defense.
he
wasn't really
backwards.
trying to run. He was trying to move backwards way too many times. So Zach Jackson from the Athletics said, did somebody say he looked like Shador?
Yeah, EJ said that.
EJ said, yeah, he was definitely like going up and back. I don't know what Josh was thinking last night. I think he was super rattled by that hit early in the game. But anyway, I don't trust the Patriots. I'm on Team Cam on this one. And now I know what show he's on.
We work in the industry. It's okay for us to know what show Cam's on.
He's not really on the show. I mean, he's like, what, twice a week he's on the show?
Yeah, I mean, he's a recurring guest. Like, he works for ESPN, but he's not, I think he only does First Take. But it's not like he's, like, when it was him and Skip Bayless or Shannon Sharpe or Skip Bayless. Like, it's not like that. It's not like he stands in there every day and argues with Stephen A. He comes in for a couple of segments 2 or 3 times a week, and then that's it.
Yeah, there was a big social media argument. Do football players actually watch these shows? And our buddy CBS Sports insider Jonathan Jones says he knows so many football players who don't watch any of that. That they have no idea what's going on TV. They watch that stuff. When they get home, they watch Netflix because they've watched enough football.
Yeah.
I kind of believe that. I don't think they all understand this.
No, I think they have NFL Network on in the facility. So I do think that they are aware of the NFL Network stuff. But I think that it's not necessarily them. It's social media clips like the rest of us.
Could be that,
and also people in their lives tell them stuff.
True.
Have you had this happen before to you? It's happened to me. I can't imagine how many times it happens to professional athletes if it's happening to me, where people will see stuff and they'll be like, hey, saw that thing. Like, they don't know you at all. And I'm like, oh, God. I don't even want to know.
Yeah,
Don't even tell me because I don't want to know.
the athletes also care so much less than we think they do. Most of them do.
Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant's crazy, but generally, most of the athletes go out there and try their hardest to get a paycheck, and they're not into the things we are.
Coming up next, what happened to my Bills last night?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Here's the snap from Andrews. Mills fakes the give, throws right side. Caught! Touchdown, Christian Kirk! The Texans score! They tie it up. They can take the lead with the extra point. Davis Mills TD pass to a wide open Aggie. Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Texans radio, very wide open. They did hit the extra point, unlike the Bills last night, who missed an extra point on their opening drive touchdown, and they were chasing that point the rest of the game. Ultimately, Houston has the win last night. Pearl, 20... what's the final score here? 33. No, why do
23-19.
23-19. I don't know why I just botched that. It was a terrible, terrible night for the Buffalo Bills.
We were going back and forth predicting the score early on.
Well, how about this? 3 turnovers. Yeah. That was a major stat from last night. Buffalo, 2 interceptions. They have a fumble. Somehow they're able to convert a 4th and 27 on the final drive when they're driving down less than a score. They do a lateral that completely fakes out the Houston Texans. Yet, when it's at a 4th and 1, then their all-world left tackle false starts to a 4th and 6. Then Gabe Davis cannot get his feet in. It was a disaster in the final drive, Pearl. It was the 4th and 27. Then Gabe Davis can't get his feet in. Then they do the 4th and 1. The false start makes it 4th and 6. And then it was Josh Allen throwing a second pick. It was just completely discombobulated in the final drive.
Yeah,
much like me right now.
I'm not going to kill Gabe Davis for that. So, funny thing is, James Cook has this big touchdown run early in the game. I thought the Bills were going to blow them out. Davis Mills was 1 for 8 on his first 9 passes. I thought this was such an easy win. I have no idea what happened after that first drive. The offense just completely disappeared. I know you know this. They got 7 of their points were on a kickoff return. It was very surprising. I thought the Bills opened up the first quarter looking great, and then something just switched.
Well, I can tell you what switched. The Texans' defensive front got after Buffalo and started dominating their offensive line.
Okay. I think it was – you don't think it was Josh Allen was hit and rattled and changed everything?
I mean, I think that's possible, but even after he got hit and he's kind of writhing around in pain, like he was still able to complete some passes.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you another thing I think that happened. They go on a 13-play drive in the first drive of the second quarter where they get down into the reddish zone and they come away with a field goal instead of a touchdown. Then obviously you just heard the Davis Mills touchdown to Christian Kirk. And then the next play, Josh Allen throws an interception. Now it got tipped, maybe not his fault, but then the Texans turn that into a field goal. Then the Bills actually do get a kickoff return for a touchdown, but the Texans answer with a touchdown.
Which was a miracle, by the way, that Davis Mills navigated that drive at the end of the half. It looked like the Texans were coming up with zilp.
Yeah, then you add a fumble in from Khalil Shakir, and you find yourself in a situation, turnover on downs, and you find yourself in a situation where Josh Allen has to do everything to drive down the field, and it was just too much. That defensive line was overwhelming. All right, let's get to Nick Costos. He's the host of You Better You Bet. I don't even want to talk to Nick about this game. Because here's the thing about Nick and I. Good morning, Costos. How you doing?
Good to be on. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Nick and I.
Let's
see what comes next.
Here's the thing about Nick and I. Nick and I actually see Buffalo the same way. You're a little more. I mean, I've lost all faith. I've already said, Nick, this is not the year. We've talked about how I think Sean McDermott needs to go. I think Brandon B needs to go. Like, it all has to get shaken up. It's not working here. So you and I are on the same page. But I think you are in the never Josh Allen category. And I'm in the he could still win a Super Bowl.
No, it's not. Josh Allen's awesome. Josh Allen can definitely win a Super Bowl. They just need a different head coach. Like,
and GM.
I've said this. I think the coach is more important. I've said this with you guys before, and it can bear repeating until the cows come home, right? in the history of the NFL, and look, like the Super Bowl era, there's a 60th Super Bowl coming up. It's not the largest sample size ever, but in the history of the NFL in the Super Bowl era, we have never seen, and this goes for John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson as well, same draft. We have never seen a coach-quarterback pairing be together this long, never make a Super Bowl yet, and win one. It has never happened before. I think this is beyond stale. I've been saying this for 2 years with Harbaugh and Lamar and Allen and McDermott. It's not an anti-Josh Allen thing. I think if you were going to be anti one of these quarterbacks, it would be Lamar. Because the big game starts and his eyes are as wide as dinner plates. Like Josh has stared down Mahomes. He's done it before. Like he's played really well in these playoff games. The one against Cincinnati maybe notwithstanding. But yeah, until they change the coach, I'm not saying they can't win. Of course they can. I'll never bet on it. So I think they need to make wholesale changes. I think they needed to make these changes 2 years ago.
Burrow and Taylor in year 6, by the way, which is also past the window.
But they made a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but no one's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In
well,
5.
They're not. They're not going to because they have the worst defense of all time. But
hey,
yes,
we were just debating the Cam Newton. Did you see the Cam Newton Drake May controversy? Cam Newton called the Patriots fool's gold. And I know I asked you about a lot of futures. The Patriots are currently 10th in Super Bowl odds, which kind of makes what Cam Newton is saying about the Patriots ring true to me. I kind of believe it. I think that, yeah, they're going to have this gaudy regular season record, but it's bad competition. But in the wide open AFC, is that too low for the Patriots?
So I think what the way I'd like to bet the Patriots, and I think I need to make a mea culpa on your show.
Okay.
Because on Friday, I do a bunch of media on Friday mornings, but I do your show at this time, and then I go on WEI in Boston at 9:30. And you guys asked me a couple questions last week about the Patriots following the Thursday night win against the Jets. And then they asked me on the show in Boston, right, and on WEI. And it kind of made me sit like at 10 o'clock Eastern when I'm done, and I thought about it a little bit. And I actually think the way I presented it was incorrect. Not that I got factual error, I said things that were incorrect, just that I thought about it a little more and I would like to amend my opinion on the Patriots. So I don't think the Patriots can win the Super Bowl. But with that being said, there's a path for them to potentially get there, even if I don't think they're like a classically good conference champion. I am still holding to the opinion, and I might be the last person on Moron Island, like Population 1. I still think the Chiefs are the only AFC team with upside enough to win the Super Bowl. But like if the Chiefs don't make the playoffs or get picked off, so now you might have the Patriots with home field against Denver. Like Denver's roster's better, but you'll take Drake May over Bo Nix. Like the Bills, I don't trust Allen and McDermott. The Ravens, I don't trust Lamar and John Harbaugh. And you may get into a situation where New England has to win 2 home games, and they're in the Super Bowl. And if you think that's possible, the way that I would like to bet it, instead of them winning the AFC or winning the Super Bowl, because like when they get there, they can't win. Not possible. Because they're going to have to play the Eagles. They're going to have to play the Rams. Like, pick your team of choice. I actually, on Friday afternoon last week, 7 days ago, I bet a couple Super Bowl exact results. Rams over Patriots and Eagles over Patriots. Because I think, like, those are the 2 most likely teams to win the conference. And if the Patriots get there, I think they're losing. I don't think they can win. I don't think the Bills can win. I don't think the Ravens can win. I don't think the Colts can win. I don't think the Broncos can win. I think the NFC is going to win unless Kansas City gets white hot here down the stretch and makes it.
Interesting. Well, Moron Island Population 2, because Perloff also believes that about the Chiefs. No, you guys aren't morons. You're actually smart about it. And it's just, because we've watched it. Well, we've watched it, though. I mean, the record doesn't really mean the same thing. All right, let's get to some other NFL games that we got an eye on, Nick. And let's start with the Chiefs, actually. So they're home, 3.5-point favorites. Indianapolis Colts coming to town. How you betting this one?
Yeah, I want to wait for it to go down to -3, which I believe it will, and I want to bet Kansas City. Now, there is something that will complicate this potentially, which is Daniel Jones was added to Indianapolis' injury report yesterday. I believe it was a quad injury. He was not on Wednesday's injury report. He was listed as limited. Now, the NFL insiders collectively, who I like a lot of them, but we can be honest, they are getting a lot of stuff incorrect, this season. What came out after that was, well, they're just being cautious. Well, maybe. Or maybe he's limited in practice today, and we don't know what % he's going to be going into Sunday's game. So I don't say that to, raise alarms, right? Sound the alarm. He could practice in full today, and it's totally good, and I think this number goes down to 3. But if he's like limited in practice again and he's like questionable on the injury report, like we're going to get to a scenario where we're probably going to stay in this range with the Chiefs favored by more than a field goal, in which case, like, I don't really want to bet the game. I do think the Chiefs will win, so maybe it's like Chiefs and some money line parlays. I think the Chiefs will win, but the Daniel Jones injury kind of like complicates how I want to bet this game. And honestly, I feel like if you want to bet the Colts, it complicates how you want to bet this game as well, because obviously you want him to be at full strength if you're going to bet Indianapolis.
All right, Nick, another big game. My Eagles go to Dallas. It's funny. I see a lot of experts on TV picking the Cowboys to win this outright. What has happened to the spread during the week? I see it now as the Eagles -3. Is the momentum heading towards Dallas a little bit, or is that just what I'm seeing?
Oh, no. This was 4.5 at one point, I believe, like before the Monday night game. Now we're down to 3. So there's a couple of factors at play. Number one, Dallas, obviously, like, competition aside, the Raiders stink. Like, they were awesome on Monday night, and the defense looked really good. And it's not just, Quentin Williams, and it's not just Logan Wilson. It's Overshawn's back, and Ravel's back, and Malik Hooker's back. There's like a whole new defense right now. And the offense is obviously cooking when everybody's healthy. And here's just a name for everybody to watch for. I think Clayton Adams, I have no inside information. Dallas's offensive coordinator, Clayton Adams, I think is going to get some head coaching buzz. And I think he should. He was the Cardinals run game coordinator prior to coming to Dallas. He's an absolute stud, like young offensive coach. Just want to throw that out there. So it's that coupled with Lane Johnson's injury, and Cam Jurgens has to clear concussion protocol. Now, if it's just Lane Johnson out, right, and think about the construction of the Cowboys defense, where like Micah Parsons obviously isn't there, but you've got Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark, and maybe you feel good about your interior pass rush. Okay, like if Cam Jurgens is playing, like you feel way better about the Eagles. Like maybe Lane Johnson, you can get away with Fred Johnson in this game, no relation. If Jurgens is out, it's obviously a little bit more of a problem. Now, with that being said, I keep looking at the Eagles, and they're like DJ Khaled. Like all they do is win. I don't care about the forcing the throws into zone coverage or DVOA or EPA or BABIP or FIP or PER or whatever stats we're going to. I don't care about any of it. What's it good for? Absolutely nothing. Here's what I know. They win every game they play. I'll lay the Eagles. I want to lay -3, though, coming up on Sunday.
Nick Costos joining us from You Better You Bet. All right, another. This is actually a funny one because I don't know how much of a betting aspect, but obviously there's a lot of interest in Shedeur Sanders, his first start against the Raiders. Two teams with a combined 4 wins. I don't know if you see any betting opportunities here, Shedeur props or something like that, Nick.
So this is a fascinating betting market, like actually fascinating. So the point spread on Monday prior to Monday Night Football, and I said this on You Better You Bet at the time, the Raiders were a 3-point favorite. And we got the report that, Gabriel's in concussion protocol. It's possible that Shedeur's going to play. And what I said was, I think if you like the Raiders, you kind of have to bet them like right now. Almost no matter what happens tonight in the game. I don't think this number is going to be 3. And that's less to pat myself on the back and be like, look how great I am. I think if you think about it critically, and you have to be kind of trained to do that, that's going to be the case. So think about it, right? The Raiders on Monday night, don't just lose. They get embarrassed. Embarrassed. To the degree that I come on You Better You Bet on Tuesday and say that they should fire Pete Carroll, and I get 0 pushback from anyone that messaged me about it. Everybody agreed. And no one agrees with everything I say ever, especially my wife. So the Raiders looked as bad as they could. Now they're -4. Think about that when Shedeur is named the starter. This is like walking in on your girl with your best friend and the next day being like, you know what, let's get back together. All good. They got embarrassed and got bet out to -4 because Shedeur is playing. So now that we're at a point where the point spread's 4, I bet the Raiders -3, so that's my bet. Do I feel confident in it? No, they're horrible.
Yeah.
And here's Myles Garrett against that offensive line. I actually think if you're going to bet the game now, maybe you bet the Browns to win. I don't think Shedeur's going to be good, but I can't advocate laying 4. I don't know that there's much to do here in this game right now, candidly.
I see the Shedeur passing totals over-under is 159.5. Vegas doesn't seem to have a lot of faith in Shedeur.
Yeah, he's such a, people get really mad.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not personal. I don't care. There's no conspiracy here. This is not like what happened in Roswell, who shot JFK. Yeah. Why did Shedeur go in the 5th round? He's not very good. That's it. And I don't think he's good. And I thought he was terrible on Sunday against Baltimore. Now you want to say it's a fair argument.
Yeah.
No reps with the first team, thrown into the fire against a tough defense. I get it. I'm open to the possibility that he's way better on Sunday than I think. But again, this is like, we're talking about bets. Would you bet on it? I wouldn't. But if you want to, you two of you, the people watching or listening, I can be wrong. Go for it. I don't think it's going to happen for him.
No, I wouldn't bet the Browns anything with any of your money.
Myles Garrett, whatever that
defensive player of the year. I guess.
He'll win if he breaks the sack record.
Which he
so
will.
that's what you have to handicap
on Sunday.
If you want to bet Myles
he's at
Garrett.
15. He'll break it on Sunday. He gets that line.
He should have like 3 sacks on Sunday. Like you're 100% right about that.
One game, a big game actually. Bears hosting the Steelers. There's so much going on with this game. I don't think we understand the Bears, and we don't know exactly what's going on with the Steelers. How do you view this game? I've seen it right now. Bears -2.5.
Yeah, so I'd like to bet the Bears. There's a lot going on here, Perloff, though, like you said in this game, and it goes beyond like is Aaron Rodgers going to play or not. The Bears have. And I can bring it up here. I don't even know if it matters to name all the names. The Bears have like a lot of defensive players on their injury report right now. So like there's a lot to figure out. My sense is that we will close somewhere in this range. Bears favored by less than 3. If we get there and I'd prefer Mason Rudolph to play if I want to bet the Bears. I would like to not bet against Aaron Rodgers in Chicago. I'd like to find a way to bet the Bears in this game. And I'll give you a prop angle for this game if you guys would like. Are you interested in that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to see if it's here because it wasn't yesterday. So I'm going to have it in a second. All right. So receiving yards. Okay, this player is not posted yet, but I'll be really quick on this. Bears second-round rookie receiver Luther Burden finally overtook Olamide Zaccheaus as the team's starting slot receiver last week, played 1 million snaps. I don't think the market's going to be caught up to how good he is. His number's going to be pretty low. I'll be looking to bet his over on Sunday.
Okay, Nick, let's do some college
Why
really
is Perloff
fast.
like throwing his hands
No,
up
I mean
like
it's like I think that's awesome. Like nobody's thinking about like how's Luther Burden going to do this week. I love it. I'm definitely placing that bet.
Well, and you can throw on the Steelers a little bit, but here's the thing. So we'll see with Caleb because you're never really sure where the ball's going. But college, USC, Oregon, Nick, this is a big one. 3:30 Eastern time at Autzen Stadium. Oregon 10-point favorite. Total is at 59.5. How do you bet this?
I like USC a little bit. I don't know if I love USC. I'll probably place like a small bet on USC in the game now that the number's at 10. I think Oregon is in a little trouble if it loses one of these 2 games. I don't think Oregon makes it with 2 losses.
Yeah.
I think like Oregon's out. So like the Miamis of the world, the Utahs, the BYUs, I think are going to be watching this game very keenly, hoping USC is able to pull the upset. Now, Oregon's going to be able to score in the game. Like USC is not winning this game 20-17. Like Oregon's going to be able to score. And Oregon does have an excellent passing defense. But I think we have to consider some of the competition that they played, right? This is a Lincoln Riley offense with a very good quarterback and a couple NFL receivers, including one in Lemon, who might go in the top 10 of the draft next year. So the point spread's huge. I do think USC is live in the game. 10 is a buy for me on USC. It won't be obviously everybody always bet within your means. This will be like a smaller bet for me compared to like a bet I would put on an NFL game. So USC plus 10 for me coming up tomorrow.
Hey, Nick, I feel like there's a lot of upsets in college football this time of year. Is there any big underdog that you think we should watch this weekend and someone you like that we might not have been thinking about?
Missouri on the road at Oklahoma. So I think like Oklahoma doesn't stink. So I don't want to say that they stink. But I don't think they're as good as this ranking indicates. And there is a little bit of bet annoyance here because I did bet Alabama last week and Oklahoma beat them outright. So there's a smidge of that here. Yeah. But we can also call a spade if you watch the game. It's a pretty fraudulent win. And I'm not suggesting that Bama should be ranked ahead of Oklahoma. Oklahoma won the game. And if Oklahoma wins out, Oklahoma's going to be in the playoff, there will be nothing to say. Bama dominated that game. Bama turned it over 3 times, and to be fair to Oklahoma and credit them, their special teams was spectacular. Gave them a number of short fields. I don't think Oklahoma is as good as this betting market would indicate. Now, the wacky thing that's going on here is we don't know if Missouri's quarterback, Bo Pribula, is going to play in this game. He's been out with the dislocated elbow, I believe, for quite some time here. He was ruled out on game day last week. If he starts... I think Missouri's live in this game almost no matter what. I did bet Missouri plus the points. I would not be shocked at all if Oklahoma lost either tomorrow or next week against LSU and got bounced out of the college football playoff.
Nick, that's where we got to leave it. Thank you so much. We enjoy these Friday mornings with you. Nick Costos, the host of You Better, You Bet, and thanks for the advice.
You got it. Wishing everybody minimal sweats, winning bets. The absolute very best of luck.
And good luck to your Giants this weekend.
Yeah. Thanks,
well,
bud.
I'm betting Detroit, and the over. So I hope Detroit wins 55-0.
We knew you would. All right, that's Nick Costos. We're going to take a quick timeout. Tony Khan, who is one of the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Fulham FC, and also the president, Pearl, of AEW.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to join us next here in studio. It's Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Tony Khan will be in momentarily. Hey, Maggie, so I want to ask you something that Nick and you kind of agreed on, kind of didn't agree on in the last segment about the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Nick Costos, who comes on every Friday from You Better Be Bet, says that they need a new coach, and you agree with that. Do they also need a new GM? That seems as the what is Brandon Beane, who's really well thought of as GM, what is he doing wrong? Like, I feel like he would get scooped up in a second. He's got a great reputation.
Yeah, well, Sean McDermott might get scooped up in a second. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily what you should be judging things on, right? You can't just be afraid that if you let somebody go, that, you know, all of a sudden they're going to go somewhere else. It can't be about that.
Well, I mean, I'd say the reason he'd be scooped up is I think he's got a pretty good track record. What's his flaw? I get the coach, but...
Yeah, so to me... As Tony Khan's coming inside here, going to get set up. Hey, Tony, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We're just quickly talking about Buffalo from last night. I'm sure you obviously were watching this game quite a bit because of Houston Texans in the same division as the team that you own, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and also because Buffalo now and Jacksonville are going to be fighting it out, looks like, for a wild card spot. First of all, welcome to the show.
Great to see you. Yeah, always great to see both of you. Thanks for having me.
You are fantastic for doing this. Obviously, you're one of the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You are the sporting director of Fulham FC. You are also the owner, CEO, and GM of AEW. Got your big event tomorrow night, Prudential Center, AEW Full Gear. We just had the Costco guys in here.
I just saw them.
We're going to talk a ton about what's going on tomorrow at the Prudential Center, but we got to start football with you. So you're watching this game last night, and you're watching Houston Texans, and you're thinking what as the Jags, one of the Jags owners?
Well, I don't know if you saw our game against Houston a couple weeks ago, but they're one of the top defenses in the NFL, and I was watching the game, and I was still very, very impressed with what they do, and they're a very, very strong team on defense, and I thought it was really, really evident, and I think it was very impressive what they did.
You know, your team, obviously that was a tough game for you guys, blowing that 19-point lead. But, Tony, rebounding very nicely against the Chargers. And this offense has looked different from the bye week, which is funny, your offense, Jags offense, because you're down some guys as far as the receiving core with Brian Thomas and now with Hunter as well. So what have you noticed since the bye with the offense, Travis Hunter?
Oh, there's been so many great things happening with the Jaguars. First of all, Liam Cohen's done an amazing job with this team. He's a tremendous coach. He's doing a great job. I think we all knew Liam was a great play caller coming in, and Liam's come in. He's a really, really great guy, and I think he's also a really great leader. And I think coming out of the bye week, our offense and our whole team felt really, really united. And the whole team really rallied to put together what I thought was in all three phases a very complete and great performance this past weekend against the Chargers, like you just said, Maggie. So I thought we rebounded really, really well. And I think the team's really, really excited for this weekend. It's going to be a nice trip to Arizona. And I'll be making the long haul to Arizona from here after AEW Full Gear tomorrow night, which is going to be a nice weekend. You couldn't ask for a better way to spend a sports weekend than AEW Full Gear in Newark at the Prudential Center here on a Saturday night, and then spending all night flying to Arizona for the Jags game.
You just live on an airplane.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
We were talking about, we had the Costco guys on who are going to be part of the event tomorrow, and they were amazing. We're talking about your energy level. How late? Saturday night's a big night. How late are you in the arena? And what you have to? Then you have to go straight to the plane. Like, do you get sleep in this mix anyway? I don't know. With the adrenaline that you seem to have, I don't think you're going to sleep till Monday.
I think you're right, man. Thank you, Drew. I'm going to go out of the arena. I'll be at the post-fight press conference. We have a scrum after the big championship matches, and then all the wrestling media and the people are going to be at AEW Full Gear. They're going to have their questions. I'll stay for as long as I can, and it's going to be a while. I answer a lot of questions, and so I'll be there well after the event. So I'll be there, into the early morning and then flying all night, and hopefully, like you said, I'll maybe get some sleep on the plane. But I think it's going to be a great weekend and hopefully a lot to celebrate. I know that AEW Full Gear is definitely going to be a great show tomorrow night on pay-per-view. Also, we have the Tailgate Brawl to kick it off, which is at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's on for the satellite radio people. Instead of 4 p.m. Pacific, it's on live coast to coast on TNT. And then Full Gear is going to be an awesome show. And I'm also very optimistic about the Jaguars on Sunday.
It's a big weekend. Tony Khan spending some time with us, and we have a million wrestling questions for you. But just one more about football, because as one of the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously Travis Hunter, we loved watching him in college win the Heisman. You guys make the big trade to get him in the draft. You took the big swing, and unfortunately now he's hurt and done for the season. What do you think of his abbreviated rookie campaign?
He was doing fantastic. He was doing fantastic things on both sides of the ball. He's a major contributor to the team on offense and defense. So absolutely, we'd love to have Travis back as soon as we could. And right now, I think the team has done fantastic. Like you said, Maggie, with some injuries, really they've performed very well. And it feels like we have a lot of momentum. But absolutely, we'd love to have Travis if we could. And he was doing fantastic things before the injury.
Okay, wrestling.
Yes.
So
wait, sorry. One last Travis update. Hold on one sec.
Okay.
One follow-up to that. Because he got hurt his rookie season, does it make you think twice about him playing both sides of the ball moving forward?
I think Liam is completely unfazed by this. It felt like Liam really was incredibly pleased with how Travis was performing on both sides of the ball. So I think everything was going great. This happened in practice on a Thursday. It was a complete fluke thing. And I think Travis was doing great things. So I would imagine Liam's going to really keep doing the things he was doing. He was doing fantastic with developing Travis. I think it was a great move by our GM, James Gladstone, to acquire Travis. And I think Travis is going to be great for the Jaguars.
Okay, sorry, Pearl. On to the wrestling.
So an easy way to get into Maggie and Perloff's heart is to come on the show and impress us. And we love Mercedes Moné. Like, we're lifetime fans now. She's got a big match on Saturday night. We were talking before, and EJ mentioned the balance between a women's match really being a marquee matchup. Like, this is, how do you view, like, how big that particular match is on your whole card? Because usually the men's match gets a ton of the spotlight, but this one's big.
Well, I think it's really been something that's been growing for years and years in AEW is the quality of the women's wrestling. I believe that it's gotten better in the quality of the women's wrestlers. It's been a few things. First of all, we have Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander. This is the TBS champion versus the world champion. I think it's quite arguably the top two female stars in AEW. But when you look at where we were when AEW started, Chris Statlander was a fantastic prospect. She's the world champion now. She's a great example of one of the young stars that really developed and grew. We also signed huge free agents in AEW along the way. Mercedes Moné is a top example, and this match, it really embodies that, where you've got your world champion who's your homegrown star, who's been built in AEW, versus one of the biggest free agents ever in wrestling, and certainly maybe the biggest female free agent signing ever in pro wrestling, Mercedes Moné, the TBS champion, coming to AEW. And now you've got these two great stars colliding for the world championship tomorrow night at AEW Full Gear. So we've brought in, over the past 6 years since AEW launched, a lot of great free agents, but we've also developed our own homegrown stars. Another one of the great free agents we brought in, who's kind of somebody who embodies both of these things in a unique way, is Timeless Toni Storm. She's been here for several years, but Timeless Toni Storm, when she got here, she had not yet been known as Timeless. And the transformation of Toni is really something to behold. She'll be competing in a huge tag team tournament match involving a lot of the competitors in the Women's World Tag Team Championship tournament in a big four-way match on the pay-per-view to determine who can pick the stipulation for their semifinal match. So there's like all these great things happening in AEW, and particularly in the women's division. And I think over the past 6 years, through a combination of developing homegrown stars and signing great free agents, and then in some cases, again, developing those free agents into something that can be even greater in AEW, I think it's been a really positive and really awesome thing for the fans, too, to have so many great female stars in AEW right now. And certainly, to your point, man, Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander tomorrow night, that's a huge match.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné also just cousin of Snoop Dogg. If you're for the casual fan out there, Tony Khan is with us in studio, one of the owners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, sporting director, Fulham FC, owner, CEO, and the GM of AEW. Yes, now you wear a lot of hats, Tony. True Media, I think that's also your company as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we see that wrestling now has become so much bigger because of the battles between you and WWE. And we've talked about John Cena now. He's holding this tournament to determine who he's going to face in his last match. And there's been some surprise guests. Would you ever think about lending some of your talent, especially people who've had relationships in the past with Cena, in this final moment here for him? Is that totally out of the question?
I can't say it would be totally out of the question, but at the same time, nobody's really called or asked. It would be an unusual thing, but I've worked with a lot of different wrestling promotions. We have great relationships with multiple companies. In Mexico, we work with CMLL, which is the oldest wrestling promotion in the entire world. They've been running for 92 years. They do packed houses every Friday night in Arena, Mexico. It is packed, and we have a great relationship with them. New Japan Pro Wrestling is on the path to sell out the Tokyo Dome for a huge match with the president of New Japan in his final match, Tanahashi versus our AEW Unified Champion, Kazuchika Okada. So a lot of great international partnerships. So definitely AEW likes to work with other promotions. So you can never say never.
Do you go to all those matches too?
No, I can't go to I've been at every AEW show. I've been at every AEW show. I love it. We have every Wednesday night on TBS and HBO Max now. We do every Saturday night on TNT and HBO Max. The show's an hour early tomorrow night for the Saturday show because of the pay-per-view. It's the tailgate brawl for Full Gear before the Full Gear pay-per-view on HBO Max. And I have to say, I love going to those matches. And one of the things I really like, Drew, is I love, if I may say, not having to be 100% on and being able to put the pencil down and just enjoy the wrestling. Jon Moxley is the only wrestler ever to win the AEW World Championship, the WWE World Championship, and the New Japan IWGP World Championship. And when he won the IWGP World Championship in Chicago, I went to the New Japan show when they came to Chicago. Some of the AEW wrestlers were on the show, but that was a huge moment because I really wanted to be there when Mox won that title and made history to be the first person ever to do that. He may be the only person who will ever do that. So I thought it was a really special thing. Just as an example, I do like to go to those shows, and it was nice not having to produce the show. I didn't have to wear a headset. I just relaxed and watched it. It was nice.
Sit back and be entertained for once as opposed to providing the entertainment. Tony Khan here with us in studio. Just a couple more for you, Tony, and thanks for being generous with your time.
Thank you.
Fans like me of your roster want to know when MJF may be returning. You're here in the East Coast, which is kind of his stomping grounds. What do you think about him?
Well, first of all, I think MJF is having an amazing year in and out of the ring. He's come to AEW and he's had some great matches. He's been involved in some top matches, some of the best things all year, including some great things with the AEW World Champion, Hangman Page. Hangman Page has got a huge test in front of him right now. He's facing Samoa Joe in a steel cage match tomorrow night at Full Gear. And Hangman has had so many great matches himself this year, including at AEW Revolution very early in the year in Los Angeles. It was Hangman versus MJF. They had a classic. Then in London at the O2, we set the record for the most wrestling fans ever at a show at the O2. And Max and Hangman had another great match. Hangman came out on top. Hangman's been a dominant world champion for us this year, and one of the major obstacles he's had to overcome has been MJF. And MJF has been away from AEW working on projects. He's filming major movies, including something that I think is just fantastic. He had a huge part in Happy Gilmore 2. He played Happy Gilmore's son, and it was a really prominent part, and he did so well. And it's really helped get more acting roles for MJF, but also really great visibility for AEW. And I do believe MJF is somebody that will be in AEW for a very long time and somebody that embodies what the company's about. And I am very excited about getting MJF back when he's ready and the filming of these movies is over.
There you go. Tony, last one for you from me, and this is because we don't get to talk to owners very often. You make yourself available to us, and we appreciate it. One of the biggest stories outside of the NFL, it's in basketball, where Nico Harrison was recently fired as the GM of the Dallas Mavericks. Now, this is not your franchise or anywhere close, but I'm curious because you've been in these rooms. Have you had GMs bring trades to you where you just had to say, first of all, absolutely no, or no and you're crazy, or you really had to think about it, or just take us from the owner side of this when a general manager trades away a franchise player like that, and how does something like that happen? Because we're not in those rooms.
I think it's a great question. I do think that there are many different ways and reasons these things can happen, and just like all things in life, there can be great reasons and some reasons aren't as good. And absolutely, I think it's important to ask about where a trade is, first of all, why it's happening, and then where it's going to benefit the organization and how you're going to come out on the better side of it. And having been around and a part of many of trades and transactions over the years, I can say, yeah, absolutely. There have been times where things, you have to ask about them and maybe hold out for a better deal or do something different. And there are some great examples, I think, of teams making franchise-altering moves for the better. And obviously, the flip side of that, on any trade, often they'll be there for the worse. Now, sometimes there are trades, of course, where there are examples where it can benefit both teams. And that's always good to see, too. Sometimes those player-for-player trades can be good for those kinds of things. Sometimes a player-for-picks trade can be good for both sides. In English football in the Premier League, we do transfers. Typically, it's very rare to see the player-for-player trade there. The transfers are typically money. They don't have the draft picks. So it's a very different system that we have in the Premier League versus what we do in the NFL.
Is there a statute of limitations that's passed on a trade that you vetoed, going back with the Jags, like early on, or something where now the players are gone or retired, but one that came to your desk and you said, oh no.
I think it was a very good process, and I thought that the franchise got the best possible value in a challenging situation. And this is somebody I really, really like. And I think, and if I saw him right now, I would shake his hand. And it was many years ago, and it's somebody I have a ton of respect for. But I think it's well known that the franchise has a ton of respect for, but also was in a challenging position. And this is over 5 years ago, I guess 6 years ago, with Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
And I think that it was a good thing that everybody stood back and talked, and the value that was generated by waiting and talking to people and not rushing into something. There's a huge difference between what the value ended up being out of that trade and what it would have been if it had been executed the moment it first came up, after it first came up.
Yeah.
So that's one example. And I'm not saying that it was like a good, I'm not saying good or bad, anything about it. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the raw value in the trade machine, like the picks and things of what ended up being that trade versus what the at first day when we first talked about it, what the offers were, it was a lot different.
We'll leave it there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's 9:43 Eastern on Friday. You look like you're in good shape now. I just want to see you Sunday night, your playoff hunt, big event on Saturday night. I pray for you, and many energy drinks ahead.
I really appreciate that, and I think it's going to be a really nice weekend. And I really also always appreciate you both having me here, especially when we have AEW Full Gear. I feel like this time of year I always get to see the both of you.
Yeah,
and if this being a sports show, we always end up talking some football and some wrestling. But wrestling's a 52-week-a-year sport.
Yeah,
it's the only one that goes year-round. There's no weeks off. We do this every week, and one of the great things is We tend to stop around here in New York a lot, and you guys are always really nice about having me on. So thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Excited for tomorrow night, AEW Full Gear, Saturday, November 22nd. Again, tomorrow, Prudential Center. Tickets on sale. You can watch in a variety of ways, pay-per-view and everything. And now we've got cards with the Costco guys. So we got a little gift here as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We've got some headlines for you before we say goodbye for the weekend. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
Hey, thanks. That was great.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for, it's all there. eBay, things people love. All right, we haven't talked a lot of NBA today, but it is in-season tournament time, so everybody is following that really closely. EJ, what do you got on the association?
Oh, EJ, we need your mic on, sir.
Well, my mic was on it. The pod needed to be on. Maggie and Perloff, two of the Western Conference best teams, square off tonight in Houston. The 10-3 Rockets host the 11-3 Denver Nuggets at 9:30 on Prime Video. The Nuggets, first in the league in scoring. Rockets, second. Two of the best offenses here. I want to ask you guys, who is the bigger threat to the OKC Thunder in the West?
Oh, man. I think Denver. I think anytime you've got Jokic, you've got a shot. Obviously, I think he's one of the best players in the league, so I'm going to go with Denver. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely Denver. There was also, he was in the news a lot this week. There was a big social media thing. If you could teach your kid about the NBA through showing one player, who would it be? And a lot of people said Joker.
What?
Yeah, I would have said.
Not Jordan?
If you want, if you want to get them hooked on basketball right now, current players.
Oh, current
Who
only.
would you show them? And a lot of people said Joker, and I did. I would have gone Wemby.
Wemby or Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. I thought, because I don't know.
Steph Curry. Like the 3-pointers are always fun.
Yeah, nobody really appreciates the big man, but the people just like putting that meme of Joker at a horse racing thing out. I think that might be why.
The harness racing. Let's get to Bogush, who's got the latest and greatest. What's up, dude?
Your last batch of headlines sponsored by Skechers. Watch the Skechers World Champions Cup this December 4th, 5th, and 7th on ESPN and ABC. The Costco guys give out 5 booms. The Texans gave out 8 on Thursday Night Football.
Allen to throw. Allen stepping up. He's got too much time. Now he's in trouble. Allen is going to go down to Neil Hunter. He brings him down. And Aziz helps with the finish. A deep sack. The Bills have to burn a timeout.
Mark Vandermeer on Texans radio. Josh Allen sacked a career worst 8 times with 4 other hits. He was picked off twice. Khalil Shakir fumbled. The offense only managed 12 points from the middle of the second quarter until the end of the third. Buffalo gained 15 yards on 14 plays.
Ultimately, we got to execute, and we didn't do a good enough job of that tonight. Whatever situation, whatever circumstance, we gotta put our head down and find a way there. And on the field, we didn't.
Hat tip to Maggie, who basically predicted this game. All your fears came true last night.
And by the way, not to toot my own horn about when my own team I root for is going to lose, but I started getting nervous about this the day the schedule came out because I know that they are terrible.
Because it was a game on the schedule.
No, they're terrible in Houston. Can I also just make one small thing? They were talking about how Josh Allen's getting his jersey retired in Wyoming this weekend. This dude says yes to everything. And I'm not trying to be negative about Wyoming, and he should get all the accolades. But ever since he became the MVP, every single thing in the world is opening up to him. I don't know why his number wasn't retired in Wyoming 5 years ago.
Gotta wait 5 years.
Oh, it's like the Hall of Fame in Wyoming. I don't even think they've retired anyone else's number.
Fatis Dembo.
I'm going to be honest. He's got to stop saying yes to everything. It's too much.
You've got real football concerns to focus on. Don't worry about his weekend plans on his mini bye. Let him go to Wyoming.
Dude, say no. You
can't say no to his jersey retirement.
You can do it in the offseason.
They don't play football games in the offseason.
Who cares?
Him and the football team.
Get
and
everyone
the whole
together.
state of Wyoming, probably. Everybody.
Did they have to do it during the football season?
When else would you retire a football number?
Guys, stop with your inane questions.
Spring game.
Not making sense, guys.
I don't want to hear it.
Have a donut. Calm down. It's the weekend.
Eat a Snickers, please.
Are there Quaaludes in that donut?
There could be. I know a guy. Billy!
That explains a lot.
Yeah, well.
Kidding.
Gonna need something harder than a little refined sugar. And that's where we're gonna leave it. Thank you, EJ Stewart. You spun a lot of plates today. Nice job, Scarpacci. Great job. Thank you, Andrew Bogish, Andrew Kaplan. Thank you to the Costco guys. Thank you to Zach Jackson from The Athletic. Thank you to Nick Costos. And thank you to Tony Khan. What a guest list we had today. Enjoy the weekend.
You're in a 5-minute break.